Go.
Wake up to the sounds of the silence that allows for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that I told when my back is to the world. Was smiling when I turned. Just one thing.
I tried to the top, I've been out of shape, thinking out of box, I'm an astronaut. I'm blasting off the planet, rocking cause catastrophe, and it matters more because I had it, now I had a part of my freaking had to go on an opposition, kinda shocking, they were ecstatic with decision, I'm automatic, quarterback,
Welcome to the Death Star.
What is good, Raider Nation? Welcome to yet another episode of our Raiders Wednesday Night Live show. I'm joined by my friend Dustin, knowing Cortez. Say what's up, everybody.
Salute, Raider Nation.
What's up?
Appreciate Happy birthday, Dustin.
Oh, fuck
Yo,
yeah.
yo, salute.
Yo. Salute. Everybody put happy birthday up in the chat for Dustin.
Oh, man. There you go.
Yes, of course. Yeah, so, first of all, to start things off, we have a very special happy birthday to our main man, Dustin. He's been with us from the very beginning. Started all. Couldn't have done it without you. Just a happy birthday. Like Cortez said, everyone please in the comments wish him a happy birthday. He's 57 years old now.
No, 80 now.
80? All right, that must have been dog years.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying in the back. I'm probably like 105 in dog years. Like, we're good to go.
He's an old basset hound.
Damn, I could barely able to sniff my way anymore.
Dustin, and it all starts with you first.
Hey,
everything we do, bro, it's with you, and then it's all of us.
100%. Wouldn't be able to do without you. Seriously, man, happy birthday. Shout out to you.
Happy birthday again, bro. You already know.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
So like always, on the happy birthday to Dustin. Thank you to the members of this panel for showing up as always. Thank you to the mods in this chat for holding it down. We wouldn't be able to do the show without you guys either. And last but not least, thank you to the viewers for commenting and watching along with us as we begin this episode. We got another great one for you as always. Just a quick reminder before we get started, as always, if you haven't already, when you get a chance, just take the time to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on all three of the platforms that we're currently broadcasting to. That's the Death Star Report YouTube channel, the DSR Aftermath YouTube channel, and the Death Star Report Twitch channel. If you don't have links or URLs to all those platforms, or you don't know exactly where to find them, we should be posting links to all three of those platforms in the comment section momentarily, as well as we'll be reposting them multiple times throughout this broadcast. So you guys will have multiple chances to check out those different platforms. So like I said, on all three of those, if you could like the video.
Oh, yeah, and the Discord too. I'll drop the Discord.
Yes, and thank you, Cortez. And also check out the Discord. We should have a link for that as well. Discord is a great experience as well. We have a general chat. Just talk about things in general, all things sports or just life in general. We have a Raiders specific chat, of course. We have a basketball chat. We have giveaways. We have all kinds of YouTube videos, notifications about those posted that have all kinds of things to do with Raider Nation. So, like I said, a whole bunch of things going on. It's a great community in there. So, if you guys could join that as well, to join our community on the Discord app, that would be great as well. So, without further ado, let's get started with our episode. So, as I'm sure we're all aware, now, as we're getting within a week now, I believe, of the deadline for the Raiders to make a move on quarterback Derek Carr with respect to trading him, releasing him, or a very, very small, minute chance, remote chance of keeping him. Um, they have to make a decision in one way or another on that by February 15th. So with that in mind, there's been a lot of buzz surrounding Derek Carr and how he feels about his next destination, leaving Las Vegas. The most recent piece of news to that end was that the Raiders have not only agreed to compensation with the New Orleans Saints, which means that in theory they would be okay with a trade of Carr to the Saints, but it also means that Carr now, with the no trade clause, has to also okay any kind of trade he would have with a team, the Saints included. So today, I believe Derek Carr touched down in New
He
Orleans,
touched down, or he left Vegas, I think, at like 9 something this morning.
okay, yeah, right, exactly. So he left Las Vegas this morning. He touched down sometime today in New Orleans and is probably, as we speak right now, going over many different kinds of things as far as his future with the team and how he would fit within the franchise. So to that end, and as the thumbnail of this video indicates, we're just going to be our first main topic today is just going to be going over the various different destinations for Carr, be it by trade or by release. And just what we think, the future of this guy who's been our franchise quarterback for the past almost a decade now. What we think the best potential fit with him would be. I mean, obviously, ideally, we'd like him to be traded so we can get some value out of him. There have been different reports as far as what teams are willing to give for him. So with that being said, let's start with our first basic topic, which is, which is going to be Cortez. Cortez's topic is going to be first. So it's basically just what you believe the Saints offer to the Raiders
Like,
could be for Derek Carr.
yeah, like if they want to get out of some cap trouble, they could send Latimer to us, and we could get a fifth rounder for Carr. That would be a win-win, for my opinion.
Yeah,
How
I
do you
mean,
guys feel about a Latimer and a fifth rounder for Carr? Because
I
we're
mean,
helping them with cap problems that they're in. And then just think about it. We get Rock Ya-Sin, and we got our 1 and 2 for years to come.
yeah, I mean, obviously, in
Or
terms
plus
of
that, if we don't want to get Rock, we could go get Cam Sutton for cheap and pair him up with Latimer.
right, so that I mean, yeah, obviously, as far as like a need, positionally speaking, like obviously, a guy like Lattimore would be great. As you said, it probably would be somewhat of a cap dump for the Saints, who financially right now are in really bad cap
60.
health. They're in a really bad cap situation. They need to free up some space, especially if they're thinking in terms of building for a future to in the future have success and have a talented roster and whatnot. So yeah, in terms of position, I definitely love that idea. I think it's very interesting. It's an actually interesting suggestion on your part, Cortez. Um, as far as would they actually make the move, I mean, okay, as you
It's
also
just
mentioned,
rumors and stuff.
yeah. No, it's definitely an interesting idea. I would just say that um, to me, first of all, I don't know if the Saints would go for it because it's sort of a catch-22 where if you're going to try to get rid of Lattimore as part of a cap dump, but you're taking on Derek
But just
Carr.
think of it. The owner could give him like 30 million sign-in bonus, and then just be 10 on the in the cap. And
Yeah,
like that owner somehow always gets his players to get out of their contracts, gives them sign-in bonuses,
mhm.
and gets them back into being positive, not negative.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a pretty well known trick at this point that franchises, organizations use to get around you know,
And
the
technically,
restrictions
the
that
cap
they
is technically fake. Like, there's so many ways you could
have.
get through it. I don't
So,
know what.
yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously, there's also that, sort of conspiracy theory always floating around, the internet and NFL circles about if the salary cap really exists. Do teams go over it and the NFL just kind of looks the other way? So that's definitely a possibility. But even assuming that it's not fake and it's actually a real restriction that these teams have to abide by. Another thing also to consider is that the salary cap is being raised. The ceiling is being raised for teams, so that obviously, as long as teams are willing, like the Saints, are willing to spend more money, they're able to account for more on the salary cap. So,
And going back to why Saints too may work for Carr, because look, that was the head coach that he got drafted by, and then he's
mhm.
going back with them, and they still had good communications throughout the years since Allen's been gone, Dennis Allen. So it may, and plus that he'll be the best quarterback in that division by far.
Right, and that's definitely a good point as well. Just when you think about the division, and I think for this reason, Carr is definitely looking to find his new home in one of those four teams in the NFC South, because basically the like you said that division in particular, with the way in which it performed as a whole this year, is definitely up for grabs. Carr could easily be the best quarterback in that division, and it would be obviously his first opportunity to win a division crown as a quarterback, which he's never been able to do. So with that said, I personally don't think for football reasons, uh, the Saints make a lot of sense. I mean, I get there's a sentimental value with having a history with Dennis Allen, but as I was talking, I believe with Dustin backstage before we started tonight, if I'm Derek Carr, uh, I'd much rather want to go to a team like the Colts just because Frank Reich, obviously much more
Oh yeah,
offensively
I was
minded.
backstage too when you were saying that.
Right, exactly, yeah. So I think
Yeah,
that I think
yeah. You
think that
remember I brought up that a while back, like a couple weeks ago. I was like, "Oh, look, Frank Reich's there. Maybe he'll go after Carr." I don't know. This may be the first team. Maybe all four of the NFC
They're
team.
gonna have to want him in the first place. Like I said when he got there, I heard numerous reports that Frank was going to roll with Sam Darnold because he said he scouted him in college. He liked him a lot, dude. That he actually liked Sam Darnold. So I don't think they're going to be seeking out a quarterback like people think they are. But again, anything's possible, So I mean, I
Yeah,
think
and then plus
that
that we could.
makes a lot of sense because they got a lot of good players that they, like I said, they're 60 million over the cap right now, but I personally think they're gonna try to convince Carr, like, hey man, we'll fucking give you the money, the contract, like, but we also need to be able to rebuild here for a year or so, like they have draft picks, they have good organization. The organization's always drafted pretty well, especially defensively. Michael Thomas, dude, he's just a fucking flip of the coin. I mean, he's a 50-50 chance. He's been that way for the last few years. Alvin Kamara, you got to still remember he's still going to go under the punishment in this offseason right here for what he did the year before in the Pro Bowl, at the Pro Bowl. So, again, like I said, there's a lot that's going to go down here. So, you might not have the same exact team, but the thing about them is they always have good defense. They got a good team. I think if they had Carr in that team last year, they would have fucking probably beat the Patriot or the Tampa Bay. I mean,
Hey, to be
like I
honest,
said, he's going to
I
be the
think they
best.
would have swept Tampa.
He's going to be the best quarterback in that division by far. Like by far, dude. I mean, that contrast in Tampa, dude. Fucking, I mean, you got fucking Desmond Ritter in fucking Atlanta, and you're gonna go Sam Darnold in fucking the Panthers of right now. So
And
yeah,
and
I
and
talked
came
to him
out today
for
too. The
sure.
Redskins aren't even involved. Want to go after Carr? They want to go with Sam Howell.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even go to the fucking Redskins anyways. I mean,
No, hell no. That's
fuck, I,
a bad organization.
Tampa Bay would be my next call, like straight up.
Right. I mean, like if this were the NFC East,
And then
to
plus
maybe
that, like just a little bit ago, I looked on Twitter in our Discord. Vinny Vincent was like, "Don't go to sleep. Watch out. There's something may happen. We don't know."
Leave the lights.
Yeah, leave the lights on.
I'm just saying, like, if you look at it like Tampa Bay or the Saints or not, same division, same damn division. Carolina, same division. Like Atlanta, same division. You know what I mean? Like all them
But
motherfuckers
but
looking
I
for
don't see Carr fitting with Atlanta though. I do not see Carr fitting with Atlanta.
over there, dude. He's got fucking Pitts and fucking what's his name? Fucking Drake London. Like, fuck, that'd be pretty nice. And that ain't no that's not gonna be no Mariota throwing to him. Derek Carr gonna throw to him.
But
So
and fucking Carr loves his tight ends too. Carr will get it to Pitts.
if I was Carr, I'd try to shoot for fucking Tampa Bay if it was me, to be honest, but at the same time, I mean, they gotta want to go after one. Or are they gonna draft one? Like they could do a lot of things. So
Yeah. What's your opinion, Noah?
I think New Orleans might be the worst fit of any teams in the NFC South if Carr were to be traded there. Hang on.
To Atlanta?
I'd rather see him in Carolina of all the teams down there. And
But Frank
to be honest,
Christian?
I think Atlanta, they're going to stick with Desmond Ritter. I think that's the direction they're going to go because that's the reason they drafted him and they got Arthur Smith. If you want to think about it like that, Arthur Smith came in there to get an offensive revolution, and they tore the entire old system down over there. All the veterans were out, so there's a youth movement on offense in Atlanta, and Carr being traded there would not make sense in my opinion. Tampa Bay is just a disaster right now, all around. I don't really know what their plan is, considering they kind of chase the goat and use the goat to get their ring, which was their goal. And then, like I said, the Saints, they're just locked into salary cap hell. They've got like 50% of their cap spent on 7-8 players, I think, and
But they make
most of their
that all
players.
switch it though.
But here's the worst thing: most of their players, because they've been pushing back all these contracts and all these guarantees for years and years and years in order to get back underneath the salary cap. Almost every player of importance on the roster, at least starters and star players, they all have. If you were to trade or cut them, you'd be taking a serious hit in your dead cap. So there's that as well. And I advocate for the Carolina Panthers specifically because they just seem to have the brightest future of any team there, and they don't really have as lockdown quarterback there. I mean, unless you count Matt Corral, but I haven't seen him play or didn't see him play at all last season, so I don't know what he's got.
a few times he didn't do much.
Yeah, you still got some weapons out there on the offense. You have guys like Chuba Hubbard, DJ Moore, Laviska Shenault, Terrace Marshall came into his own at the end of the year. You have Ian Thomas at tight end. Your defense is very young and it's been improving over the years, so there's always that upside there. The only real weakness, and I don't even know if you can call it that because they're kind of average at worst or at best, their O-line. And everything else, it just seems like, everything else is just waiting to have a quarterback brought in. And I'm sorry, I lost my thought. Yeah, all they need is a quarterback there, like the Rams had in their situation a few years ago. They need a QB to come in and fill in the pieces, and if they do that, I think they're title contenders, whether it be Carr or someone else, because that's probably his best situation if he were to be traded there. Oh, and don't forget they have Frank Reich now as their coach, who was pounding the table for Carr over the past few seasons as a coach in Indy.
Yeah, I think you definitely make a really good point, especially about Matt Corral, Noah, because it's possible, as you know, with Frank Reich being an offensive guy, who also seems to, in particular, have this I don't know if I want to say soft spot, but he has a penchant for wanting to um, really try to develop guys in his way and under his system. So for that reason, it could very well be that he sees a guy like Matt Corral and he says there's some untapped potential here. Who, because obviously he was a guy who was highly touted out of college. He was a pretty sought after, pretty highly valued draft pick last year, but who just never saw the field. So it's possible that they let Darnold walk in free agency, or maybe keep him around as a backup, or maybe a mentor to Corral. But with the intention of Corral starting ultimately. Um, but obviously that would leave Carr out of the picture. It's just that I would personally say for that reason probably, because Frank Reich, out of all the coaches we have in the NFC South right now, offensively speaking, does seem to be the most competent. I would really try to bang on the table and really try to convince the Panthers to want me as much as possible. Because if we're talking about being excited about, playing football, especially for a certain kind of head coach as a quarterback, I mean, we're talking about Todd Bowles, Dennis Allen, and Arthur Smith. I mean, that none of those other three guys are really like anything to write home about. Frank Reich's the only one, I believe, who's as a head coach led a team to a playoff berth. So I look at that and I say like that's my best option. So, but as we also said earlier, I mean, it's possible that he just has a sentimental sort of connection with a guy like Dennis Allen, which is why he's flying over to New Orleans right now. It could also have been sort of in the works for a little while now.
Dude, fucking for British.
What?
The Blazers just traded Josh Hart to the Knicks for British, dude.
Oh,
Fucking
okay. Good for the Blazers.
yeah.
Oh yeah, the Warriors are playing right now.
Yeah, these fucking guys. Can't believe this. I'm just glad this fucking my bad. I didn't mean I just seen that come through, said that.
What's up, Al Ghost?
Salute, fellas. How's it going, fellas?
I
Hey,
just
hey,
wrote
somebody's birthday's today.
about
Whose is it, dude?
Oh, it's
uh,
right above you. The boss.
Dustin, happy birthday, dog.
thanks, man. Appreciate
You got to turn 18 once, man. Happy 18th.
All right.
it.
Oh no, oh no,
Right.
he's 80.
21, 21, dude, 21. I got to drink at least.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Alsgo, what do you think of the Carr situation? Do you think New Orleans is a realistic destination? Do you see somewhere else?
So I'm of two minds when it comes to that situation, guys. I'm not sure how New Orleans is actually going to fashion the trade from a cap perspective to fit his contract, unless Carr decides to restructure and tries to give him a team friendly deal, which is entirely possible.
Right.
So I mean, I think there is a possibility of him making his way down to New Orleans, but from my financial perspective, I think it's tough right now for New Orleans to make that trade. I'm assuming though that if Ziegler gave him the green light to go down to Louisiana to visit with the team, they're already okay with the compensation that's being offered. So I don't think Ziegler would let him go if the compensation wasn't there. At the same time, Ziegler may not be getting a lot of offers, right? I mean, fucking NOLA, New Orleans may be offering him like a fucking third round pick for all we know, right? And that's the best that Ziegler could do right now, which if it's the best he can do, then he should go ahead and pull the trigger because something's better than nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as we said earlier, I mean, there have been multiple reports about what the Raiders are expecting or hoping to get out of Carr. I've seen something like a fourth or a fifth. Dustin said he's seen like
How would you, Al's Ghost? How would you feel with Latimer and a fifth rounder for Carr?
I mean, he's a damn good corner still. Like he's been a good corner for a while, so I think that definitely like addresses an obvious need that we have. Whether or not he's a true number one corner, I'm not sure anymore, but he's definitely a solid corner. So I'd actually be okay with that, Cortez.
If he ain't one, he's got problems. Lattimore is pretty fucking balling ass man press corner, dude. He's probably one of the best in the NFL, dude. I mean,
Yep.
he's not injured. He's easily one of the best, and he's only 26, 27.
Yeah, he's
I
young.
think he'll be 27.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah. Or
I would
26.
I mean, I don't like I said, I don't know how they're going to value him because he's probably still first round pick too. So
Yeah, I think the problem with Lattimore is, he only played like 6 games this season, so I think that affects his stock a bit. But yeah, I mean, I'd be happy with him.
I would take him right this second, dude. If you're telling me that we get Lattimore for the next few years, I mean, he's easily our best corner instantly.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he was the same draft as Garyon Conley, if I remember correctly. They were teammates, I think, at Ohio State.
I believe so, if I'm not mistaken. They got drafted. He got drafted in 2017.
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
I don't really give a where traded as long as we just get him traded. So we don't talk about him. We don't think about it. I mean, I've said this numerous times. I don't think if they don't get draft compensation right now that they're going to cut him. I really believe they'll hold on to him, man. I mean, I get that they're going to be on the books, but it doesn't matter. They can trade him, and being on the books for $34 million ain't fucking a lot. So I would still hold on. And like I said, you got till June. People aren't going to want him right this second. It's going to be hard to have people in the next few days just want to be like, okay, we just finished the season, but we still want to go and grab him right this second and go this a few months before the draft. Like, a lot of things can change. A lot of things can change, and it can change the way that people's draft boards come out too. You know what I mean? So I don't know. The Saints, like I said, I don't care if they trade or not. Just get it over with. You want them, get them. I don't even care. So.
Yeah, I mean, another thing to consider as far as Lattimore, I'd say, is that first of all, because Dennis Allen's a defensive guy, it could very well be that as far as like his system and his sort of philosophy is concerned, he might really value Lattimore. So it could very well be off the table. Secondly, as we've also said, or as Cortez pointed out, you have guys like Sutton, who's available for much cheaper, and then you have we still have Rocky Sin, who's a free agent who we definitely
No.
could re-sign.
I was saying if we don't re-sign Rocky Sin, I would go after Sutton.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like we have those options outside of a corner who, although being very good, first of all, might be off the table, and second of all, is making I think about $15 million a year.
Who's making 15 million?
He's
Marshawn.
Yeah.
More. So, but yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, it really, to me, it depends on the direction in which the Saints are trying to go. If they're just trying to embrace the rebuild, then I would say that first of all, they wouldn't want Carr, but they wouldn't mind letting go of Lattimore for the sake of a cap dump to restart things, especially with the cap situation that they're in right now.
Yeah.
But as we've also said, I mean, the NFC South is up for grabs, and personally, like I look at it as I think it could be a really good opportunity for Carr at his level, and feeling like he can accomplish something that's realistic for him. Because I mean, let's just face it. Like, he's not Patrick Mahomes. Competing in the division that he's had to compete in for years now is just, the Raiders would have had to have built so much around him in order to really be competitive like that, to try to steal a division away from the Chiefs. And it just, whether you agree with it or not, it didn't happen. So now, with the very up for grabs division like the NFC South, like I said, this could be an opportunity for Carr to, not only win his first division as a quarterback in the NFL, but host a playoff game and maybe even get that coveted first playoff win that he's been, searching for his entire career. So that's why, obviously, because things have been picked up, things have been mentioned with, the Saints, the Bucks, obviously, maybe, to an extent, the Panthers. So I definitely think he's looking somewhere in there. And it wouldn't, to me, it's not outlandish to think that he could be taking, an entire, almost kind of like college tour, like we'd be going from New Orleans to Carolina to Tampa or some order like that, just because they're all in the same region of the country. So obviously, it would those visits would, I believe, also have to depend on if the Raiders agreed to compensation with Carolina and or Tampa. But I definitely think for those reasons, somewhere in that division, he's looking to land himself somewhere in the NFC South, just because realistically, I think he can do the best possible job and make the biggest impact for whichever one of the four teams.
Carr can win that division every year. You'd be able to win that division every year. You'd go from being in one of the toughest divisions in the AFC division, go to one of the easiest divisions in the NFC. Like literally.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, certainly going into this year, you have to be very confident about whatever team Derek Carr ends up going to. You have to feel very confident about him as your quarterback because, first of all, the quarterback market, the carousel this year, a lot of slim pickings. Nobody really, there's no real big, sexy free agent, targets right now. So if for example the Bucks end up being his division rival, and they stick with a guy like Kyle Trask, if the Falcons end up sticking with Desmond Ritter, and then Carolina with a Matt Corral, who I think the upside out of all of those NFC South quarterbacks he has the biggest upside. It could just still
And
be
then
one of
plus that, Derek Carr's the lonely veteran in that division.
right. Yeah, I mean, especially assuming that the Panthers don't bring back a guy like Sam Darnold. Yeah, you're definitely looking at a guy with probably a lot more experience than any of his division rivals. So, yeah, I definitely think that, like I said, this would definitely be a really good opportunity for him to do things at a level that I think he's capable of competing at. Even if the teams aren't necessarily as stacked around him, because that's sort of been the conversation, even here in Raider Nation surrounding him, is like, could we win with Carr, even if we're not winning because of him? So because like I said, maybe the team wasn't stacked as much as it could have been or should have been, to where Carr only had to be like a system QB game manager kind of guy. Because the barrier to entry, the level of competition is so much less in the NFC South right now. It could very well be a great, an opportunity for him to capitalize on it.
They've always had a good defense, so he's going to be getting a plus right there instantly. So
Who, the Saints have always had a good defense?
yeah, they have good
Mhm.
defense, Sean and under Dennis. So I think that he's going to go over there. I mean, fuck their top 10, top 12 defense. That's better than he's ever had here. Period.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean,
And plus, their O line is pretty good. There's only one player that I think it's the right guard that I have never heard of.
I would just be
Everybody else,
Michael Thomas is the only guy I'd kind of. It'd be great to have him, but is he going to be there?
yeah, yeah. Just think about
I just think there's a lot of good and a lot of bad. When you're 60 million over the cap, good players are about to go bye bye. So there can be a lot of them. Then he got to rebuild back. Then he's right back in the situation as he was right here with us. So I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. But the thing is that the Saints have money. Like the owner has money, so he can get around it just like he's been doing it for a long time. So I mean, think about it. Last year, they were over the cap numerous. They were able to get contracts restructured, all kind of shit done, money given out to people, and still ended up with a good team just without a quarterback. I mean, if there was a quarterback over there and they weren't going through fucking, what was it, Andy Dalton, I think was it? Fuck, what was it? Winston, Dalton, Taysom, fucking, they went through multiple through over there. So I don't know. I mean, Carr, you don't got to worry about Carr getting injured. You have consistency. He's a really good quarterback. So I think fucking Carr would make that team better right away at the quarterback position. So I just, like I said, is Alvin Kamara there? Is fucking Michael Thomas there? I mean, do you still have your line there? I mean, your defense, you're getting rid of numerous people. I mean, is Davenport getting rid of? Is he staying? I mean, yeah, you're probably right there. Centerstone will be around fucking Lattimore because they owe him fucking $100 million. So damn right it's going to be around him. So, like I said, that team's got a lot going on over there. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, a lot of things are in flux. Once again, is it clear exactly what they're going to do in terms of their future? You know, I think some analysts are theorizing that the Saints might just trade up for a quarterback. Let's see. What does anyone know what they're drafting at right now?
29.
Yeah, the Saints have the 29th pick.
They're starting at 29.
Yeah, they're at the 29th, first
What are they
round
trading?
29. The Miami Niner trade from the Broncos, I think, is how they got it.
And the Eagles have the original pick, which would have been like 8 or 9 or something like that.
Okay. Right. So they were the 10th over. They would have the 10th pick. Jeez. Talk about a team that doesn't need draft picks as the Philadelphia Eagles, but they got one. So speaking of picks and whatnot, so I just stumbled upon two possible trade scenarios for Carr. So which involves the Saints. So one is that the Saints trade their 2023 third rounder for Carr. No changes to his contract, leaving his salary cap hit at 32.9 million. The second one is Saints trade their 2023 third rounder and a 2024 fourth rounder for Carr, and they rework his contract. So I assume they rework it as a restructure as a signing bonus. That would only reduce his cap hit to 11.7 million. So with that being said, I mean obviously the second of those two would be more advantageous. Well, it would be more advantageous to both parties because the Raiders get more capital out of Carr in terms of 2 picks as opposed to just one, and the Saints not only get a quarterback who's ready to start right away, experienced, like we said, has a chance to definitely be the best quarterback in the division. They get that, and they could also reduce the cap hit that they have. It. So to me, something like that definitely seems to be a pretty good deal for both sides. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some when we talk about the Saints agreeing to compensation with the Raiders, probably something to that effect or on that order. Now the only question I would ask is, and this is also again why I made the thumbnail of our show today the way I did was, do you guys think that accruing a 2023 third round pick and a 2024 fourth round pick is that enough given the other picks that we have, not in this draft but in general, to trade up this draft to get a guy, one of Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, or Will Levis? Do you think the Raiders should ask for more? What do you guys think? Because to me, that's like the essential thing. Because, or let's put it this way: like, does that sort of level of compensation for Carr in the way of a trade, does that lead to being able to trade for Aaron Rodgers? Is that also on the table? What do you guys think? Noah, do you want to give your 2 cents? Do you have an idea of what you think that's realistic or?
If we were to move up, I think like you said, we have to give up at least our first round pick this year.
Mhm.
We don't really have anything equivalent of value.
Right.
I suppose if we were to move up like 2 or 3 spots, we probably have to give up
maybe a third or a second next year on top of another pick in the mid rounds this season. So I think like a day 2 pick in 24, a day 2 pick this year, and our own pick, and that would probably be only good enough to move us up maybe 2 spots, 3 spots, if that at all.
Right. Right.
Uh,
So are you saying that if we traded the 2023 third round and 2024 fourth round, and our seventh overall pick this year, do you think that's enough to, let's say, leapfrog um, to two different teams? So
What it would come down
LA
to is
and well, actually,
it's going to come down to the Colts, dude. You're going to get in a bidding war with the Colts. So, you can sit here and be like, is it going to be one first, a fucking third, and a fourth? Yeah, probably that would probably get it started easily. I bet to get up to the third spot, I'm going to end up giving up 2 first round picks. So if you were doing a first, second, first, fourth, so you do like first, second, you'd probably shoot for first, fourth this year, first, second next year, just because he hasn't had a first or a second round yet. So probably try to lean more in that area. But same time, I mean, at the same time, it's going to come down to what are the Colts going to try to fucking offer them to be able to move up there? If the Colts offer them first,
right.
second, first, I mean, what do you do then? So I think it matters what the Colts do. If the Colts don't want to go and bid, dude, and they're content with either Will Levis, Stroud, or Bryce, like they don't really care which one it is, as long as they get one of them, then you're not I mean, you'll probably get up there for probably first, third, fourth. I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one because you got to think, dude, when you had Miami, they went 3 first round picks, dude, with the Niners. So, and that was kind of the same spot right now. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't think we're giving up no 3 first round picks. I mean, but I would be content with 4 picks, 2 first, and third, fourth. I mean, that's where I'd kind of want to be at because you're getting 2 first round picks already. So I don't want to just give you all my second round picks. But no matter what we do, if we make a trade to move up, we're 100% giving up the 7th pick, dude. Like, you're 100% giving up that pick.
Right.
Yeah, there ain't no way around that. Like, there's no way around it. You trade to the third, you're giving up the 7th pick. That's the first part you're bargaining with.
Right, and because the way I look at it is, as I've said many times before, realistically, looking at the teams ahead of the Raiders in the draft right now, just for this upcoming draft, realistically, Houston, Indy, and potentially Seattle. Seattle's sort of the wild card in this regard. Would be those 3 teams would be the ones looking for a quarterback. Now, apparently, the John Schneider, the GM of the Sox, has come out and said they want Gino to come back. So for that reason, maybe trading Derek Carr to a team like Seattle would work. But with that said, I still think it's possible to move up from the 7th to the 5th, because to me it's not earth shattering. It's not extremely unrealistic or
Why
kind of
would
a
you?
trade that would require
Why would you move from the 7th to the
what?
5th spot? There's nobody. If Seattle's not taking a quarterback, there ain't nobody else going to get one because I don't think Detroit's going to waste their pick on a quarterback with golf there. You would just be wasting trade.
Right.
If the Colts aren't the only reason you'd be trading in front of the Colts to even begin with is if they were taking Stroud and you wanted Stroud. That's the only reason. Like, I don't think that the Bears are going to go quarterback. I don't think fucking Seattle will go quarterback. I mean, there's too many good defensive players on there. And if they go with Gino for the next 2 years and it falls off, then they have bad years. That's 2 years down the road for Pete Carroll. That's a long time. So Detroit, you got Golf. He's still a younger dude, and he still plays at a really good level. And that team played really good this year. So I don't know if you'd waste your pick on a quarterback there. And then there's only then it's us, right? Because that's 4, 5, 6. We're 7.
Right.
So either way, if you're content with Levis, then you just stay pat where you're at, dude. Like straight up. And if you're not, if you want Stroud, then you got to trade above the Colts, like straight up, because if that's who their guy is, you have to get ahead of them. So, like I said, it's all going to come down to what quarterback they want and if what to do to be able to get it. And then if the Colts feel like that's their guy, which I don't know if they can even make a lot of trades, because didn't they just get stuck or did with the? I thought they got stuck in that deal with fucking uh what's his name? Fucking Washington quarterback. Fucking Colts. Wentz, Carson Wentz.
Oh, Wentz, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how that whole deal went down, but I know they gave up draft picks and Matt Ryan, so I don't know if they can really give up a lot to get up there anyway. So where Ziegler got all kind of draft picks, bro. This motherfucker got not only draft pick, he got players too. So he can be like, fuck Arizona, you looking for a halfback? Fuck, I got one of the best in the whole NFL right here. Let's go. Like straight up. So like I said, we got a lot, they got a lot. I just think it's gonna come down to, do we want Levis? I mean, I've seen multiple draft boards put us with Levis at the 7th pick. So like I say, I mean, I've heard that they've said that they like him. Again, it's all up to them, dude. I mean, I don't know what fucking quarterback they like the most. Do they like fucking Jake Leonard, dude? Like, who fucking knows anymore?
No, what's that quarterback from Stanford?
I know, fuck yes, yeah.
Huh?
Tanner
Supposedly
McKee.
that they're interested in him now.
They're gonna look at every quarterback they can, dude. Like I said, because depending on what round they're in and where the value's at. Decide to go defense or fucking offensive player instead of quarterback here, because say their dude don't fall to them at 7, then it changes instantly. And if they go defense and they're like, okay, we still have our eyes on a quarterback, but not until later round. Then let's say that AR, they're like, okay, AR would be the next, but they're saying he can be drafted anywhere between 15 and fucking round 2. So if the draft value showed that he was the first round 15th pick and he makes it to round 2 your pick, you'd probably take the pick because that's who you're looking at that spot, you know. But and I'm just using them for an example. I'm just an example because you're gonna have to have value on the guy to take him. Like, so I think then again, as a defensive player there that's got more value, that you take that player, which Tutu adds more value to our team at the point. So again, then now it's the next quarterback. Okay, is it Jake? Is it fucking Stanford? Is it fucking any guy? You know, any dude out there in the whole deal? Every round has an outcome, you know. So he said Tanner McKee. I don't know about that one, dude.
I mean, yeah, it's Stanford quarterbacks. First of all, are kind of they're an interesting sort. I mean, obviously you have some great ones. I mean, historically speaking, you know, I mean, you have obviously John Elway, you have Andrew Luck, but more recently you have Davis Mills, who, you know, Davis Mills sort of kind of showed some potential going into this year, into last year, but I just to me that's a gamble. I mean, let's see what his draft projection is, because I mean, to me, I think he's just too low in terms of the quarterback rankings to really be looking at. But I mean, you could always go. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, don't forget about Jim Plunkett.
Right, exactly right. I knew I was forgetting somebody. Exactly. So, you know, I mean, historically they've had some great guys come out of there, have some great players just in general. But you know, I mean, I just don't know. Let's see what he's. draft projection. Because I would think it would be like maybe like second, third round. Okay, so draft projection, yeah, second mid position rank. Um, so I guess with the 39th pick, they could take him and then maybe draft somebody on defense. But once again, you're probably making Tanner McKee like the future of your team. And I mean, he's the fifth ranked
Not happening.
quarterback out of the draft.
I ain't going in the fucking second round that early. That's not happening, dude. There's way better players on the board than that motherfucker in the second round at the fucking seventh pick. Like, no way. That dude will go towards the third round. See, that's my point. He's another one of them players that if you were to grab him in the third round and again the seventh pick would be a great deal. It's the same story, just different fucking way. You're not gonna grab him at the second round, seventh pick in the draft. There's gonna be linebackers, DNs. There's gonna be multiple players that are better, that are more needed fit on our team right there. Like by far. So I don't know if I'd go that route with that. Like I said, if I got him in the third round, then I'd probably do it. But the guy's gonna go in third round, mark it. Like that's what I want to do it. No way I'd take him in the second round.
Well, yeah, so you wouldn't take him with the 39th pick?
Somebody else can't take him. I'm saying where we're drafting, we can't take him.
Okay, so because to me, like the argument here is that like with Tanner McKee, I would say in terms of the draft ordering and whatnot, I mean, you could argue that it's a decent gamble on him considering that he's only the fifth ranked QB coming out of the draft, higher than Anthony Richardson actually. So, you could just say you could just look at it as, look, we're just burning our 39th overall pick on him. If he's a bust, then he's a bust. But that's as opposed to using up all kinds of capital to trade up to be in a position to draft one of those higher, top 1, 2, maybe 3 guys in Stroud, Levis, or Young, and it doesn't work out. And as you just said, Dustin, there are a lot more needs on this team than just quarterback. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to roll the dice using a lot of draft capital or other capital in terms of like personnel or whatnot. Just try to construct a big trade.
John Gruden Mayock would do that,
What?
but Ziegler's not going to do that. He's going to draft where the value's at unless they trade back. And again, if you're trading back, you're doing the same thing you'd be doing with the first round 7th pick. When you're trying to go, like when people were talking about AR, right? When you're trying to find this slot hole, you have to call a team up and you got to go, okay, we're going from the 7th to the 20 fucking 23rd, 20th, whatever they valued that dude at. Then they got to convince that fucking team to go from the 20th to the 7th fucking pick to begin with, and give up that much shit. So it's just a lot of shit. And all I'm saying is like when you're doing that, that's why the third round makes more sense for us if it's going to happen, because then we're only trading up a little bit of spot. It's in the third round, so it's not as much value. When you're trading from the third round back into the second round, then you're giving up a lot more. So I think with that player, I mean, I know who he is very well. Again, there's other people that, again, like Jake, you're gonna have fucking AR. That's fucking 5 quarterbacks right there, and then saying that you're looking at that many in the first round to begin with, like I don't know if you're gonna have that many people looking for that many quarterbacks, So for me, I would just say if you're getting them third round, because you're going to have Henry Tutu on the board there, dude, at linebacker, which he would be a huge need for us, massive need. So you would 100% probably take him over him. So again, there's a lot of players that are going to be there that have better odd. And I mean, if you're looking at your quarterback, in my opinion, I think you just got to get it done in the first round, dude. Like straight up, one way or another at that pick, you got to figure out who the hell it's going to be. So I think frickin' you gotta get your quarterback in the first round. I think when you start doing these games down there, your value, the draft value starts to fall off the board a lot, dude. And then you're gonna be like, okay, in the 5th round, I got 5 fucking 5th round picks, which that's where I think we could have where we could do something where you have a group of players that are sitting around the 3rd, 4th round, and then they take these 5s and 7s, trade up back into the 4th round and get a quarterback that nobody's even looking at because again, they're not even telling anybody who the fuck they want, who they're looking at, who they're looking to sign. I mean, it's all speculation at that point, you know. So we can be sitting here saying, fuck, we want to trade up for Stroud, and they can be like, fuck, if Will Levis falls to us, we're just fine. You know, like they're not telling us that type of information. So we're just saying like what we would personally prefer for the team where they're just sitting there saying like we're not probably trading shit because if the Colts take the second quarterback and Will Levis is still there, they may like him. You know what I mean? So then they're just sitting there thinking like, okay, if he makes it past fucking Seattle because they're going defense and then makes it past fucking Detroit, we're getting him regardless. And let's say that he doesn't go, then hey, fuck, maybe Jake's our guy. You know what I mean? So or it could be AR. I mean, however they're valuing the board at that point is what I would probably say. So if they feel like, okay, we can move back to the 10th spot and fucking still pick up a Jake or AR or somebody like that and still gain a little bit of value or move to 12, you know what I mean? Like something like that where you're not moving too far where a guy ain't giving up too much. Probably makes sense, you know. Then you still get your quarterback and you still get more picks. So like I said, that draft can be. I would get the quarterback in the first, dude. I mean, you need to fill out a lot of places. You start playing those games later on, it's gonna bite you in the end. I think, dude. I really do believe it. I know it will. I've watched it happen numerous years in a row in the draft, dude. I've watched it for years happen. So
Right. Yeah, and you know, I was just saying that, you know, as far as, you know, drafting a quarterback and as far as, you know, having one fall to us that we'd really like, if we're talking about the top three quarterbacks, like I said, the only um, somewhat small chance of a team ahead of us drafting a quarterback, I would say, would be Seattle, as far as one that definitely, you know, I mean, obviously Houston and secondarily Indianapolis, they're probably going to try to find their next guy within the draft, but definitely because the expectation is that Geno's supposed to be back with the Seahawks next year. Um, you know, the Raiders could take that gamble and just say, okay, we're just going to stick with the pick we have, which obviously would be the simplest way of going about things, right? You don't have to worry about trading up or trading away any assets. Um, you know, you can just be happy with the position that you're at. And then and just wait to see who you got. But I would just say that you know, I guess it would depend on how much Geno is looking for. Um, you know, and I would sort of like I myself was sort of pondering the possibility of the Seahawks wanting Derek Carr. I mean, that's I haven't really heard too much about it. I'm looking at an article now. Um, uh,
so two-faced at an organization, so I don't think they'd probably even consider it at the moment. Because they talked that fucking dude all year long. Gino, how he played, broke the fucking the record for the first year. You know, like that. I don't know if they would do that. Like that'd be pretty backstabbing.
backstabbing if they were to send him to the Seahawks.
I'm saying like to go bring Carr over fucking Geno Smith after you just said that you're gonna sign him. How he played hella good within the deal. I mean, that's all they talked about all year long. And I don't know if you'd want to be a part of that, dude, knowing that your franchise literally they just doing the same thing they did to Carr then. You know what I mean? Like they literally just publicized it like, hey, you're hella good, blah, blah, blah. Bam, fuck you, we got Carr.
Right. And I mean, you know, obviously Gino had the better year than Carr did.
5-year contract right away. Like that's what I'd tell. No outs. Like you're fucking stuck with me 5 years, dude. Like If I was going to that franchise and they said that about their quarterback and did that, I'd be like, yep, 5 years, no outs at all.
Mhm. Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I mean, Gino definitely had the better year than Carr, but Carr consistently has put together better seasons than Gino. This was sort of this was a surprise to everyone, how well Gino played at least through the first, probably half to 2/3 of the season. So, it's possible that the Seahawks are also looking at it as a gamble to stick with Gino, whereas Derek Carr could be viewed as more of the devil that they know, um, more conservative option, the safer option, because who knows if Geno Smith is going to repeat what he did this year. I think he had over 30 touchdowns, or maybe it was 29. It was somewhere around there. So um, yeah, I've seen. I mean, I do. I'm reasonably confident that the Seahawks are going to bring back Geno. It does feel that way, especially because the GM John Schneider did in fact say that that's the expectation, that's their plan. Um, I would just say, like I said, that the one thing that's sort of like in the back of my mind right now is like Seattle could be that team, especially what we know about how Pete Carroll can handle an offense. Maybe he feels confident that he could uh, take a guy like like I said, one of Stroud, Levis, or Young. So just in terms of like neutralizing that option, moving from the seventh to the fifth, to me doesn't seem too crazy. I think you could, first of all, if you trade Carr to somebody else, you could give Seattle picks.
Seattle's the fifth pick, dude.
Right, that's what I mean. But what I'm saying is that if you give them more picks, then Seattle might be open to just downgrading two draft positions in the first round and then having more draft capital to build their team, because as you said, they have a lot of needs on defense as well. Um, and if they stick with Geno, then they don't have to worry about a quarterback themselves, and then they can just focus on building a team around Geno, and also with guys in place already on that offense, like great guy coming out of the draft this past year in Kenneth Walker. You have an absolute dog in DK Metcalf, and you also have a pretty damn good wide receiver too in Tyler Lockett. It seems like their offense really could be set.
That'd be
Um,
one of his best tandems he's had yet as a complete offensive wide receiver halfback core type tandem. He's always had one or the other, and now he had two. But Lockett's a badass. Like there's no doubt about it. Lockett's a badass. So tell me you get DJ and Lockett, dude, as your receivers. I mean, that's a pretty good upgrade for him.
mhm. Right. So yeah. So obviously the Geno Smith situation, that's obviously something we're gonna have to monitor, because that's going to be the quintessential thing as far as assessing Seattle and where they're at. I mean, obviously, from our standpoint, we would probably definitely hope that, um, you know, first and foremost, they would re-sign a guy like Geno Smith. Secondarily, they would suddenly become interested in Derek Carr, whether that's by a trade or by picking him up in free agency, just so that they can solidify a quarterback option, so we don't have to worry about them as a potential threat to take one of the top three quarterbacks. Because to me, there beyond those three, there seemed to be a decent gap in potential talent and NFL skills that translate to the NFL between those three guys and what comes after. But we'll have to see. But I definitely think, like I just said, just for
If
the sake,
three quarterbacks, okay, if they're at are you saying like talent wise?
like in terms of like being an NFL quarterback, basically. I mean, like to me, for example, like Anthony Richardson.
Three quarterbacks come off the board. That's so out of the first five picks, that's saying that three quarterbacks and Jalen and Will Anderson are off the board, obviously, because
Right.
they would be two defensive players, I'd imagine. And you still got massive talent on the board there. So I mean, and I don't know if Seattle's gonna if Seattle is gonna go with Will Levis, then you'd only sign fucking Gino to probably 2 years anyways, because what good would his 5-year contract be if Gino was under contract for 3-4 years? And if Carr was under contract, you're most definitely not doing it. But you'd have to get Carr before the draft, so you knew you weren't drafting that. Then what are you giving up to get him? Like that, there's a lot in that. No, I think they're just gonna go defense, dude. Like I really do believe they're gonna go defense. They got 2 picks in this draft, don't they? In the first round, because they got the fucking pick from Denver, and then they got their pick.
Yeah, that's right. They have the.
If everybody's talking AR, if everybody's talking up AR,
they have.
Salute, Richard.
They have the 5th and the 20th pick.
Yeah, AR would be around the 20th pick. Like you could probably grab AR around the 20th pick. So I think if it was more me, he's more the Russell Wilson type player, dude. So I mean, they're getting Will Levis if they're picking him. Like I think that's for sure. So I think if they were looking for Russell Wilson type mobile outside, I mean, I've said I said it numerous times that fucking Levis is like Josh Allen, dude. He's that type of player. So I mean, yeah, will he run a little here and there? Yes, I like fuck what he run 800 yards this year, I think, but I still think frickin' I would go defense with Seattle because that's a huge need for them, and you can get a really good person at that point, and then still pick up an AR at the 20th pick. So I think that'd be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, and that's why I think there's been a lot of buzz surrounding Anthony Richardson, because without doing anything right now, I think the Raiders could definitely draft him. I just don't know. I mean, I personally, I don't know if I see, because to me, he's another Lamar, and if he's another Lamar, I mean,
we're not drafting
what?
that guy. We're not drafting him.
That guy is not a scheme fit. That guy is not a scheme fit, fellas. And frankly, there's a lot of buzz on AR. Like I mentioned the other day, guys. Like there's a lot of buzz on that guy just because of his name. Like the AR-15 because it sounds cool. Like that's literally what people are saying.
That, like I said, you're not taking him at the 7th pick. The only way you're getting AR is that he's on your board in the 2nd round, and you had him in the 20th pick and made it to the 2nd round. Like it's the same shit I just said about the Stanford guy. The way these guys, the value ain't there. Ziegler's not going to do that. Like they're going to draft the best available player out there at the position that they're at. And they're not going to go off the board that far. They're not taking a dude that's 10 picks and past their pick and at theirs. They're going to take a guy that's underneath their board, dude. That was probably on the board. That it could have been corner, it could have been safety, it could have been fucking. They're like, this guy's 10. Like he was a first round fucking 20th. We're here now, or 5th or first round 25th. Like shit like that. They're not going that way. There's no way. There's no way. They didn't do it last year. Why the fuck would they do it right now? Like they didn't even do it last year, just coming into the organization. They're not doing that. They could have won multiple quarterbacks. Dude, they could have went on multiple quarterbacks last year. Multiple. Fuck it, your own. Hey, fucking pick.
The one thing I will say, Al's goes to your point about Anthony Richardson being a scheme fit or not for this team. I mean, the one thing I could say to that would be, given how Jared Stidham with his mobility was able to extend plays and whatnot, and make the offense look better in a lot of ways.
Do you guys hear that, or is that just me?
No, I'm hearing that shit too, dude. I thought I was going crazy.
Yeah, that shit.
Feedback.
Okay.
Cortez is wearing too much bling, I think.
Uh,
Got a fake chain on the chain detector.
hey, Cortez, turn off that fucking midget donkey porn shit, bro. Let's go.
Okay, there we go. But yeah, the only thing I would say is
It's
that
still on for me, dude.
Yeah, I
Screaming
still hear
hell.
the dog whistle.
That's what it sounds like.
you guys still hear it?
Fuck
Mhm.
yeah.
I don't hear it anymore.
Well, we hear it, dude, and it's coming hard.
I don't know who's making it though.
And yeah, so anyway, hopefully that goes away soon. I would just say that um, because Jared Stidham in the little he played this year, because of his mobility, was able to extend plays, and because that make the offense look better in certain ways. In theory, there's room there for a guy like Anthony Richardson to come in, and with the athleticism that
It's out. It's screaming hell hard.
what
That noise is screaming hell hard, dude. I don't know what the fuck it is, but
Even the Jets like are doing over.
Do you think it's Noah, Jeff? I'm not sure if he's muted or not.
it's this mic.
Oh
See
no,
it?
it's
Sure. Look. See, it's gone. Now it's back. It's his mic for sure.
so it's mine.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
yours.
it's your mic.
All right, let me try to refresh the. Bear
Is
with
that
me.
thing? It's screaming hardcore.
The ever so uncommon technical difficulty.
I thought I was fucking tripping, dog. Like, I thought I was.
Second dude, and I'm like, yeah, that shit is straight fucking just. I was like, what the hell?
What's up? You guys still here?
Yeah,
Nope.
That's all
You
good.
do?
it's all clear.
Did you hear it? No?
No, I'm good. I don't hear
Yeah,
anything.
I don't hear it.
Steve,
Okay.
Chili, appreciate you, bro.
Peace out. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining. But yeah. So I would just say, as far as that goes, like Anthony Richardson, like in theory, with his athleticism, that he's supposed to have off the starts, he could come in here, obviously be a running threat, extend plays, not be a pocket passer, be somewhat of a headache for opposing defenses. That's possible, and also, if we're talking about, once again, just sticking with the pick that we have right now, he's definitely in play. I just I don't know if, like I said, I look at him and I still see a Lamar, and like Lamar's not a bad quarterback at all. It's just that, I think there's something to be desired when it comes to him. Like he's not the perfect quarterback. I don't think I would consider him elite necessarily. So we might be stuck in a situation where we have a good quarterback, but there may come a time when we want to get to the next level, and he may have too low of a ceiling. I don't know. What do some of you other guys think about the whole drafted QB situation? Do you have a favorite? Do you guys have like a trade package in mind?
Appreciate you, Richard, and salute, James.
Salute. Thanks for joining. No, what do you think?
Well, if we're unsuccessful in trading up for a quarterback,
I suggest that either we get a defensive player with the 7th overall pick, or we trade down to the mid first round, or maybe where the playoff picks start coming in, or the teams that made the postseason, and we snag a quarterback there, whether it be Richardson or Levis, because apparently Levis's stock has been falling as a quarterback, and also as a hype player. So there's that as well. So if we can snag one of those guys, if after trading down, I think I'd be okay with that.
Okay. Yeah, because well, I mean, first of all, even if Levis stock is falling, um, I mean, wouldn't he still be considered like the top in the top three of quarterback options? I
That
would
is
think.
That's fair to assume, but like you said, or like it's reported out of Raiders beat writers that Ziegler is favoring Richardson as the QB if they were to draft one, if they were to keep their spot at 7.
Yeah, but man, I would have to just argue that all day, dude. Like the offensive tackle at the fucking school is better than him. Like he's one of the best in the nation, dude. Like I don't know about all that shit. I mean, this guy, whatever. I think people are going to talk about him how they want to see him. So, I mean, this fucking guy, Lamar fucking sucks, dude. Like as a quarterback, dude. Like you want a halfback quarterback, go get him. Like fucking good luck, dude. I mean, dudes end up injured, fucking just like he's having issues just trying to get his contract right now after they already broke him down. So I mean, get a Super Bowl in 5 years, you got a good deal. After that, you don't have a quarterback. So I don't think that guy is going to be anything nowhere close like that in the NFL. So good kudos for that shit. You pick that guy in the early rounds, you're just fucking. There's no way. I think, like you just said, Jeff. I mean, Levis is still the third damn quarterback in that deal, regardless. So of talent, skill, he's the most QB ready for fucking the NFL out of Bryce and out of them. So they can say his stock's falling or not. He's still one of the better players in there. So those can be personal reasons why they may say that. And the Raiders, I posted a post on the Raiders where they projected Will Levis as the number one overall pick in the fucking deal, and then Vegas, his stock went from 20 to 1 to 10 to 1. So obviously, someone thinks he's going to be going just in the top 10, regardless. So
Yeah, and here I just found another article that brings up a good point. You know, Josh McDaniels back in the day as head coach of the Broncos, you know, took a gamble on another
Hey Dustin,
yeah,
Jalen Brown is out for quite a while.
good. I hope it's out for the rest of the Raider history.
No,
Yeah,
the basketball player
yeah,
from
Celtics.
Boston.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
would
he
I?
suffered a fracture. Will miss some time. Sources say throughout the All Star break.
Oh yeah, it's right here out indefinitely.
Yeah, it was on Discord. Oh, guys, I'm passing out already.
You got to head
Because
out, man.
no,
Huh?
he's passing out.
You
He's
gotta head out?
I've been falling asleep. That's why I mute myself.
Sorry, in and out.
It's only 8 o'clock, Cortez. Come on, man.
Wow, bro, I wake up at like 3 in the morning.
He's doing what I told you a minute ago. He's full of it, bro.
3 in the morning every day.
Yep, so I tell.
Me and Jeff should be the ones that are tired people here, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, you're lucky it's not 11 over there.
Everybody,
Yeah.
Raider fan wants the Eagles to win the Super Bowl, bro. If there's any guy on this panel that says the Chiefs, just imagine if you get technical difficulty real quick when you say that.
You ready for me to say who's gonna win?
Yeah, he'll be like Chiefs fan. He'll be like, yeah,
Please. Not just fucking around.
Cortez is having technical difficulties here. He fucking on. Fuck, you fucking picking no Chiefs on this fucking panel. I'll tell you that. You better just fucking keep it.
Let's see. So Al's go. So what do you think about the whole Raiders QB draft? If they were to draft a QB, first of all, without all sort of putting to the side all sorts of ideas about trading for Aaron Rodgers or picking another UFA veteran quarterback, What do you believe would be the best decision?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're trying to build for the future, you
Mhm.
go for a rookie quarterback. I think you try to build through the draft. I think I mentioned in the previous live, obviously Aaron Rodgers would be a better option than Tom
Having some
Brady, but at
technical
then,
problems, guys.
Uh,
Sorry, what were you saying,
yeah,
Ghost?
so I think obviously like having Rodgers over Brady is a better option.
Mhm.
But ultimately, like Rodgers, like Brady, they're band-aids, right? Like Rodgers may be a better band-aid, but it
Right.
might be just like a 2-year band-aid, so to speak.
Mhm.
And frankly, I'd be sick and tired. I'm not even a Packers fan, obviously, but I'm already sick and tired of Aaron Rodgers, like for the past 3 seasons, wondering
Right.
whether or not he wants to play football, And
Right.
I would hate for us to like go through that every year to just be, sort of holding our breath to see whether or not this guy wants to play football. So I think ideally, you build through the draft. McDaniels gets his guy and he tries to build him. And
Mhm.
if McDaniels is this offensive guru that people think he is, if he is
Mhm.
this mastermind, then have him build his quarterback. And I think that would prove a lot, to Raider Nation if he's able to do that. Because if Rodgers comes here and he wins with Rodgers, I don't think that actually really shows anything for McDaniels from a coaching perspective, right? Like,
Mhm.
hey, you got a Hall of Fame quarterback and he won you 10, 11 games. That doesn't really show me that Josh is like a great head coach.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
should
I
get his
mean,
guy.
you should get who?
He should get his guy, whoever that is. I mean, we've discussed it. It's probably CJ Stroud, but he
James,
should get his guy and build him.
he said, "What's the percentage chance that we have to get Jalen Carter in the draft?" Like, if
Need a
I
miracle for Andrew Joshua.
think that we were trading up there to get Jalen Carter, I don't know if they'd give us that spot, dude. Like, if let's say that the Chicago didn't take Jalen, they went Will Anderson, and then like, I don't know if Arizona is going to give Jalen Carter to us at that point. I don't know about that one. So at that point, I'd probably say probably like 0%. Because I think Arizona would take Jalen Carter, I think, in a heartbeat. I mean, they just got rid of fucking JJ Watt, dude. Like, and you're going to get Carter as a replacement. I mean, that's pretty fire. So,
Right. Yeah. And just in general, I mean, well, first of all, the Cardinals, their head coaching situation is still up in the air. That's
they're not paying somebody till after the Super Bowl.
right. So that I mean that in and of itself will dictate, um, the direction that they go, which will also impact who they pick with that pick that they have in the first round. Um, but obviously, quarterback wise, they're going to stick with Kyle. They just locked him up, this past off season. So, um, yeah, I mean, it's just like guy like Jalen Carter. If that's our goal, I mean, once again, same thing with Stroud. We're probably talking about we're going to have to give up a lot of capital, whether it's personnel or it's draft picks or both, as far as getting to that point, and it could
Yeah,
also be
you're going to give up more if they know you're going Jalen Carter. Like, there's a difference when you're going quarterback because when you're going quarterback, they're probably still going to have a pretty good chance to maybe not have Jalen, but still have their guy at that seventh pick. When they know you're coming up there to go defense, that's going to be a whole different story. I think. Like you're changing the whole. Like I'm telling you, they'll take Jalen Carter. There's not a doubt in my mind. Like they're drafting Jalen Carter, 100%.
the Bears,
No, the fucking Cardinals.
Cardinals.
I think the Bear. It's going to go one of the two with the Bears. It's Jalen Carter or fucking Will Anderson. Like Will Anderson probably would be more need for them because of the fact that they gave up of Roquan Smith. So I think Will Anderson would probably be more in there because he's a linebacker / DN.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they'd probably favor in there. He's really good pass rusher too. He still play really good off the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he'd probably fit more of a need. But Jalen Carter, I mean, come on, let's be real. The dude's a fucking beat. So it could be, like I said, it could be either way. I think they'll go Will Anderson for the Bears. If it's me, I think it would go Will Anderson, Bryce Young, Jalen Carter. Like that's how I feel. And if it's not, then the two defensive players are just split. That's it. It's going to be Jalen Carter, and then it's going to be fucking Will Anderson. So
Right.
you can probably just say in the second pick it's quarterback, and I don't care which one they pick. Their choice.
And I would say also, like, I would consider the probability of us getting it low because first of all, either we get a guy like Aaron Rodgers or we don't, because if we do, then yes, we don't need to worry about a quarterback in the draft, at least right now. But because of the trade, we're probably going to give up too much.
I don't think
we give up a first-round pick.
I think they can get him for a first-round pick. I think when you're looking at a 40-year-old dude, 2 first-round picks, that's a little excessive. So I would think they're going to for like a first.
Get Rodgers for like a third round. What happens if we get the third round for Carr? If it is a third round from the Saints, we could just give that to.
If we're getting the third for Carr, they ain't getting 2 fucking first for Aaron. There's no fucking way in hell. So Aaron Rodgers had fucking probably even worse production. Maybe by 100 more yards, he probably was better. Like fucking bullshit. They want to talk about fall off. I mean, that motherfucker fell off, dude. And then they're going to talk that shit on Carr. Like, come on. Get the hell out of here. He had fucking 1,200 yards, fucking 12 touchdowns with Devontae. His fall off. Fucking 3,500 yards before and sat out 2 fucking games. So, and got forced to sit out. Rodgers played out the whole season. What do you have? 3,600 yards? Fucking 34, 30 or 24, 26 touchdowns. Like, fuck, get the hell out of here with that shit. Thing like, oh, he going for 2, but Carr going for a third. Fuck no. How? Carr just had 4,800 yards the year before. Fucking Rodgers had what, 41? Like fucking it's some fucking bias ass shit going on here if that's the case, though. For sure.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, like I said, it's like a catch-22 with Jalen Carter because if you trade for Rodgers, you're probably giving up a pick that you would use to draft him anyhow. But if you don't get Rodgers, then you need a quarterback, in which case you need to use that pick in some way, shape, or form to draft a quarterback, whether that's moving up or using the pick that you have right there. The only other thing I could say would be a third option, like you test the QB veteran free agent market, which technically includes Jared Stidham. So you could stick with Jared Stidham and then make that decision. Once you trade Carr, use what you get from trading Carr to trade up to get Jalen Carter. But because of that, I just don't think that those are really the best options right now, and I don't think the Raiders are trending towards that. So I just don't think getting a guy like Jalen Carter is realistic right now.
Their life, dude. So I don't see them just having this fucking rogue ass mentality of how the Raider way or the Patriot way of drafting, scouting, and then they get over here and they just go rogue. Like I don't see that, dude. So I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they'll trade quarterback. I don't think there's any way they're trading up to get Jalen Carter in any way, shape, or form. So
No, they're not trading up for Jalen Carter. I'm hearing they may trade back for picks.
And that could be a possibility, but again, I think when you start accumulating too many draft picks, you're depreciating that draft value at that point, dude.
Hey Jeff, is your brother up in the chat?
Yeah,
that's him in the chat. Here, I'll put his comment up.
I thought that was him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So okay, so this is a thank you Neil for joining and commenting. So this is a discussion that we I've had with him recently about sort of like a dark horse future maybe franchise quarterback is UCLA quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
Yeah.
I've been a fan of his for a little while now, and I've liked what I've seen from him. Although I believe was it the Senior Bowl or is one of those bowl games that they just recently had. It was kind of hot and cold with him. Like sometimes he'd make good throws, but then sometimes he would make poor decisions and it wouldn't look that good. I mean, if we're talking about let's see.
Hey, Neil, I just subscribed to your channel, bro.
I told your brother to tell you that you hit on that one, dude. And I'm not gonna lie. I said shit, man. Even on the live, I said it that you got that fucking Kayvon Turpin dude. Fucking, you hit that fool on the head up there. So sometimes you gotta think
Yeah, he called it. Yeah,
I'm sure, man.
yeah. So
I think
this is interesting. So Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
I think the only way that he works is if you get Rodgers and he plays for 2 years, and you're going to play him in the third year. I don't think that guy comes out in year 1 or 2. So I think the only way you'd go with that guy, in my personal opinion, is if you have Rodgers for 2 years. So
Yeah,
Rodgers.
I mean, obviously, the only fear with that is that if they do draft a quarterback, I mean, first of all, if they do go out and get Aaron Rodgers, which obviously would be a huge trade for both teams, you would probably be pissed off if you were to draft a quarterback because then it would just be a Jordan Love situation where it doesn't work out for either Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers doesn't get the weapons for the win now attitude that he has, and Jordan Love doesn't get the playing time. He doesn't get to see the field. So if we're drafting a quarterback on top of getting Aaron Rodgers, to me that doesn't make any sense. But once again, like I said, if we're trading for Aaron Rodgers, once again, just like last year with having traded for Devontae Adams, we're not going to be drafting for a while, probably until like third or fourth round again. So what's interesting about Dorian Thompson-Robinson is that he's projected to be a UDFA. So it's possible you could take a very late round flyer on him. It's possible you could just sign him as a UDFA because if he's going to not be drafted, then then go for it. He could be Mr. Irrelevant and prove everybody wrong, just like Brock Purdy did. So it's low risk, high reward situation in that sense. But it all goes back to the same thing, which is if you're trading for Aaron Rodgers, first of all, we're drafting late again. We're not getting off to the best start of the draft just because of where we start. But that's obviously a very win now decision to get a guy like Aaron Rodgers. So outside of that, I mean, I would probably say our first pick when we do finally end up drafting would have to be another weapon, probably a wide receiver to complement.
I told you, come on anytime you want, man. You can come on whenever you want, bro. Like I say, I mean, there's a lot of top flyer players that we can take in later rounds. He is a good one. I just think that type of player, with the way he is, I would probably more shoot for 2-year development. That's like I say, you can take him in the later rounds. I mean, there's a lot of guys in there that are later round quarterbacks that have really good ceilings and development. I mean, nobody's saying that Anthony Richard probably couldn't, but I wouldn't want to start him this year.
And no, you're always welcome, bro. Just let us know when you want to come back, bro. We miss you over here.
Yeah, freaking. That's how I look at it. I don't know. I think there's a lot of value in there. To go back to
the link, all right?
Is they stay pat and still end up with Levis or Stroud. I think the teams are going to go defense and offense probably. So I don't think that I don't think we're going to be too far out. It's just back with the first pick, or we're going defense, and then if we go defense, then all these scenarios with all these other quarterbacks will come into play, dude, instantly. You know what I mean? But it's like if you go quarterback and just stay where we're at, don't even trade up, then your defensive plan changes for the next 2 to 4 rounds right there instantly. Where I've seen people say, "Oh, defense first, 2-3 rounds." 4 rounds. You probably could do that, but sometimes, like I said, there might be an offensive player that has more value. That's in one of those picks on the board. So, that's tricky, dude. And I've said this a lot of times. I'm not a fan of the draft. I'm just a fan that if you get the players you need, regardless of what round or what pick, like I always say look at Max Crosby and Cleveland Farrell. People were so pissed like him at the fourth, but you ended up with Max in the fourth round. That's one of the best that's in the whole NFL. You know what I mean? So that's why I just say I'm not a fan of the draft at all. I think as long as you get a player, I don't care what round, what pick, what puts the spot, as long as they bring value and play at a high level, that's what should matter.
Yeah, I mean, once again, like if we're talking, um, trading for Aaron Rodgers, I mean, what's is our first priority? I mean, I guess if you still retain, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, and Hunter Renfro, then in terms of weaponry, for Rodgers, that could probably be enough to appease him, especially because he's been able to put some great seasons together with, outside of Devontae Adams, his second wide receiver has been like Alan Lazard. So with that said, I mean, maybe there's not as much of an emphasis on getting weapons like a receiver for him. So I guess because of that, we could probably look defense. But they're
Yeah, they were talking Rodgers the second they brought up two first round picks out in the talks right away. I'd be like, I'd rather just give up 2 first and trade up and go get a guy. But again, if you're still looking like I've said, how many times I've heard that Jake has been compared to Bryson Stroud. They're just worried about his height.
Mhm.
Like I've heard so many scouts and so many people talk on that dude. Like he's got all the tangibles, everything. Just worried about if he can take a hit in the NFL. Like that's really all they're worried about. And then let's just say that as much as I hate it, you give up one Fresno player for another, but this one has a really good high ceiling. It's just like, again, putting weight on players. I don't know if he can't put on weight. I don't know if he can. You know what I mean? So I would just say, fuck in that case, like I don't know. I mean, you could probably. I want to take him at the 7th pick. There's no way, but all I'm saying is I think at that point, if they're off, they go or to fence. And if you're trading, if I'm giving 2 first round picks, I'm going to trade up to get the quarterback I want. I mean, that's how I think it should be to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
It's your future. The other guy's 2 years.
Right. And this to me just goes back to that same basic thing of like, yeah, in terms of, for a lot of reasons, it would make sense for this team to really just enter a rebuild, just kind of start fresh because they're going to be ripping this locker room apart anyhow, totally changing up the roster. The only other thing I would say is that from Mark Davis's standpoint, what was the point of spending all this money on this core of players if you're not going to win right now? I mean, as I said on our last show, if you're going to suck, you might as well do it for cheap, while you figure it out and while you really develop something the right way. So and really, mainly the guy I'm looking at is Devontae Adams. I really could see how it would piss him off if you have to go through the trials and tribulations of a rookie quarterback, and the end result of that is the team isn't very good because the quarterback has to figure out how to has to go through the motions of making rookie mistakes, learning things of that nature. But it's tough because the flip side of that is you'll have a guy like Aaron Rodgers and Josh McDaniels, 2 guys with probably pretty different philosophies, and with 2 ideas of how to do different things. And I could definitely see some arguments happening between the 2 which could get toxic as far as how that affects the locker room and how that affects the rest of the team. But football wise, I mean, if McDaniel's just sort of really embraces the chemistry that Devontae and Rodgers probably still have, then the
Christina, you
offense
see
can make
that?
simply what?
That's the team.
What team?
What are you talking about,
Yeah, what are
Court?
you talking, dude?
Hey,
What
hey, Christina, I just wanted to tell you that the Yankees aren't all that either.
fucking guy? Cortez, are you fucking you're on the phone with them and you over here talking.
I'm just gonna mute him. Okay, he muted himself. Okay.
Listen, hey, he's over there. Oh, I'm gonna sleep, man. Motherfucker over here talking some bullshit, some other motherfuckers.
Um,
That's what you
what?
do. Oh, I know you better than anything, I swear.
Right back, I gotta go do something.
How you're
So
full.
what the Yankees are on all that.
But
The Yankees suck.
he
They do.
sucks more.
Yankees suck.
So why don't we switch gears a little bit, because obviously we've just been talking quarterback pretty much the whole time. Al's Ghost, why don't you get us started on your topic, which is addressing the linebacker position? What do you think we need to do there? Do you think we need to draft new guys, re-sign Denzel Perryman?
Hell yeah.
Al's Ghost.
Yeah, I'm right here, dude. Yeah, no, I got your question. I was just wondering. I thought Dustin was going to say something. No, yeah, I mean, I think when I look at the different position groups that we have on the team, obviously we have a lot of weaknesses, especially on the defensive side of the ball. We like depth at a lot of critical places: defensive line, linebacker, cornerback, safety, etc. But I think the way that you build a championship winning defense is you build it up through the spine of the defense. And by that, I mean having strong, defensive tackle play and then strong linebacker play. And I think we lack sort of all of those things, unfortunately, on our team. But when it comes to addressing the linebacker position, yeah, I mean, I think we should definitely look at free agency, see if we could find an upgrade over Denzel Perryman. Don't get me wrong, Denzel Perryman, I think balls out when he's out there. I think he did better under, Gus Bradley's system, but I still think he did all right this year. And I think he had two interceptions, which is pretty impressive.
Right.
But his big knock is that he's going to be out, a few games out of the year at least. He's never played a full season. He's never played a full NFL season. So I do think that we need to look closely at who we can get at linebacker, especially a middle linebacker and then like a coverage linebacker. I personally I'm not a huge fan of Divine Diablo. I think he lacks the body type for a linebacker. So I would like an upgrade over him. I think he's an okay depth piece to have on the roster, but in terms of a starting linebacker, I would move on from him. Masterson, a rookie guy, he was kind of up and down for me the entire season. Hopefully he takes a step forward this year and learns from his rookie year. But I also don't think that he's at this point a starting caliber linebacker. But unfortunately, a lot of the guys who were supposed to play this year, got injured before the season even started. So I think that really handicapped us for the rest of the year. But I definitely think the linebacking core is a position group that we need to address, and we need to address it pronto. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, it goes without saying it's an extremely important position. Yeah, I mean, obviously the big question mark here is Denzel Perryman. I mean, last year, or not this past year, but the year before, he had an incredible year. So that's something to take into consideration. But when he is on the field, his impact is definitely felt. He definitely could be he definitely can be viewed as a leader of this team. Definitely has a lot of ability. But yeah, I mean, the injury proneness is just it's a concern, because especially as a guy who has been looking for that long-term security in terms of a contract, hasn't really found it yet. is this team willing to roll the dice on it? And especially the other thing is that this was a guy brought in by Gus Bradley, former defensive coordinator. So this is a new regime. Patrick Graham has his own way of doing things. It could very well be that they were just sort of viewing this year for Perryman as a prove it kind of a deal. And simply from an injury standpoint, they don't find it's worth it. And I understand that. It's just as far as replacing him, as Cortez has mentioned, they have some great options like Edmonds out of like I always get the two mixed up. One's out of Pittsburgh, one's out of Buffalo. I think it's the one out of Buffalo, right? Who's a free agent this year.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, right. He's an option. Once again, though, Buffalo has a defensive guy as a head coach, so I could definitely see him, valuing him a lot. Although with a guy like Matt Milano already there, maybe they feel like they can move on without Edmonds, which would be great for us if we were to sign him because that would definitely be a 1A level kind of option for us. Another sort of suggestion as far as a free agent we could sign is a guy like Levante David. He's obviously older. He's on the back half of his career, but he definitely does. He was a big part of this Bucks defense, especially the defense that went out and won the Super Bowl only 2 years ago. So, yeah, it's tough to say. But yeah, I mean, it's just none of these. Tremaine Edmonds would probably be the one I love out of the most of the options that I can think of. And obviously, with a lot of cap space, we could make it worth a guy like that. We can make it worth his while, financially speaking. So there's definitely a lot of different ways that could go about this. No, what do you think?
Yeah, I think you guys have been talking about the linebacker position has just been a big weakness for this team for a while now. I think the last time we had a linebacker unit that finished the season in top 10 in cover and run grades was the first season that PFF started up in 2016. And a large part of the reason we haven't been able to get a defense like that is because we just don't have any linebackers that can cover well. And when we do, it's just we don't ever use them correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Kwiatkowski was a good example of a linebacker that came over from Chicago, and he had potential there to be a good cover linebacker on the tight ends as well as a run defender. But he only showed his value as a run defender, and that's what we got and replaced. When they had Gunther's system in Oakland and in Vegas in the first year. But yeah, if we need this defense to improve by any bit, we need some solid coverage linebackers. They don't even have to be edge rushers or linebackers that push off the edge. They just need to be good, solid off the ball linebackers that you can build a defense around.
Right.
Or you can plug into a defense and everyone just clicks around them. And the guy you mentioned before, Levante David, I think that's a really good pick, at least for a 1-year deal. Obviously, he's been a Buck for his entire career, and he's got some, the loyalty to Tampa Bay.
Right.
But he is 33 years old. There's something there, like you guys have mentioned. If we were to pay him, it probably wouldn't be what what Tampa would try and re-sign him for. There's another player, maybe Tremaine Edmonds, if we were to replace Denzel Perryman, because Edmonds would be 25 going into this season, and he's been a stalwart for the Bills defense.
Right.
And the Bills themselves, they need to make some decisions on whether or what players they want to keep on that defense, because you kind of have that power pull between Poyer and Edmonds, or if they could work some of that Mickey Loomis magic into that team and just push all their contracts back, that'd be something else. Another player that I would not oppose bringing in is Kyle Van Noy from the Chargers. I know he's a Patriot, or he's got experiences in the system. And I was actually pushing for this team to sign him in free agency last year as it was leading up to the Memoriam or Mematorium. I can't remember what the yes that word. Thank you. I can never pronounce it, but Van Noy, he had a solid season in Los Angeles, which I believe should raise his price a bit. And we were to replace Perriman with a guy, I think, or I wouldn't be opposed to Van Noy coming in either. There's a bunch of guys that can replace Perriman in his run defender role on the defense, but there's very few that I want that actually can cover the pass competently enough to keep the defense from falling apart.
Yeah, I mean, and also looking back on it more, the free agent linebacker market right now is pretty darn good. I mean, you're talking about Drew Tranquil. I think it should be pretty high on the list as far as consideration because not only did he have a great year with the Chargers this year, but because he's in our division, he gives some intel. Um, started 16 games this year as opposed to only 11 the previous 3 years. So definitely, entered into a much bigger role. Had 146 tackles, 5 sacks as a linebacker. That's tremendous. He's 28, so he's definitely not old by any means. So
Who?
that definitely got Drew Tranquil, the guy for the Chargers.
Yep.
So I think that's definitely got on the radar. Another guy I'd be really excited about is Bobby Okereke. With the Colts, 151 tackles. Obviously, I believe it when he made that great play against us this year in a pass breakup in clutch time. So you can't put a price on that. Definitely a guy with the potential for a lot of big plays. All around, just great year this past year. And with the Colts probably going in a different direction, like what are they going to do? Like as far as are they going to sign a lot of their veteran contributors? Are they going to begin to clean house? So that's a guy I think they should definitely monitor. You have Jermaine Pratt, obviously, with the Bengals. Definitely a very good year as well. Only 27 years old. So a lot of options to choose from. Another guy obviously is Alex Singleton, especially with the Broncos. I think reportedly they're going to bring in a new defensive coordinator. Maybe he doesn't feel like Alex Singleton sort of measures up or doesn't measure up. He's a great player, but doesn't fit with the scheme as well. So definitely, like I said, the carousel as far as veteran linebackers this year, there's going to be a lot to get. So we could definitely get at least one of these big names I just mentioned, or that Noah or Alex mentioned, that could really anchor this defense moving forward.
Coordinator for the Broncos.
What?
Said I thought it hired the defensive coordinator for the Broncos.
Did they hire somebody yet, or?
I'm saying the defensive coordinator that was the Broncos defensive coordinator. I can't remember who hired that dude. My bad. I was thinking. I thought you said that.
Who hired the Denver Broncos defense coordinator?
I can't remember where he went.
He went to Minnesota with O'Connell. Was it? No.
No, that's Brian. That was Brian
Oh,
Flores.
Carolina.
Yeah, I think that's where he went, Carolina.
So yeah, Giro Evero. He's apparently currently the.
Wasn't he part of McVay's tree? Wasn't he with the Rams before last year? I believe
he was
so.
He was with the Rams. He was a safeties coach.
Yeah, so last year was his first job, I think, as defense coordinator.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. So yeah, so he does appear to be a McVay guy. But last year I guess the Super Bowl winning Rams team. He was a secondary coach and pass game coordinator. Then moved up to D coordinator this year. So I just mentioned that to say that the things are kind of in flux defensively in Denver. So maybe a guy like Alex
Hey
Singleton,
Ray,
Salute everybody. What's up?
Blu-ray.
you, bro.
Happy birthday, Dustin, man.
Happy
Yep.
birthday.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
Chilling on
are
that
you eating
Snickers
the
bar.
candy now, Dustin?
Fucking Milky Way.
Oh
Well, there
shit!
you go. Happy
Oh,
There
you
birthday.
you
work
go. Happy
today?
birthday again, bro.
Oh yeah. No, we're gonna we're
Dustin
gonna
takes no days off, bro. He's out here working on his birthday, man.
Hell
Facts.
All the
yeah.
effort, bro.
celebrate my birthday this weekend. We rent cabins and stuff, so we're gonna watch the Super Bowl there.
Oh,
Nice.
that's sweet.
And
That's cool.
then my woman, she makes like a cheesecake shit because I love cheesecake, so she's gonna do that.
Oh shit, Dustin, where
Nice.
that's I love cheesecake too.
Yeah,
That's
we're gonna go
crazy.
up to the Y, the running Y up here.
Oh yeah. Better bring that console too, because I need to whoop someone's ass in Madden later.
See, and I'll beat the shit out of you a little bit, man.
That'd be a hell of a birthday present. So Ray, welcome.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
sorry to butt in. No, I just
no, it's all
what are
good,
you guys
man.
talking about?
So right now we're talking about basically addressing the linebacker position. So
hmm
what are your thoughts as far as what they could do? Like draft somebody that
Um, I
is
kind of talked about this probably last week, where I
mm,
mean, at this point, I mean, there's probably a linebacker to go in the draft, but in my opinion, I just look at short-term veteran probably. Like I was looking at David Long or Levante David. They both had pre. David Long had a pretty good season this year. Levante is a little regressing, but if there's somebody to fill in the linebacker spot, that'll probably take the same amount of money as giving Denzel Perryman and do a better job than him. I would probably look into both of them because we're still what is that word? We're still like progressing with Diablo. So I think somebody that can help him out and like, what is that, mentor him,
right.
kind of, could help him out possibly. And Levante looks like a great mentor, has a great sportsmanship. Yeah, I feel like he would help out the locker room too. That linebacking core needs some serious help.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the whole thing with Perryman is like very good player,
He's a
impacted.
good player. He's his entire career he's battled injuries. He's never really
Right,
been healthy like that. Last year he was healthy and he had a pretty good season. This year he's been on and off,
right.
injured and not injured, and it's kind of risky with paying a guy that's probably going to be like 50 to like 40% all the way there this season. Luckily, the dude played 100% last year, and he had a good season. But are you gonna really promise yourself this guy's gonna be 100% every year? I don't think so.
hmm Yeah, exactly. Like that's the thing, especially these guys
That's
look
one of the main reasons why the Chargers got rid of him because he
right,
couldn't stay on the field.
right,
And
and
they worked on Drew Tranquil and Kaiser. I think no, not Kaiser. Was it Kaiser? Wait, no. The Kenneth Murray. They got both their backups right there, and they're playing a lot. They're playing pretty well.
right, exactly. And also the other thing to consider, as I said before, is that because he was brought over from the Chargers by Gus Bradley, that was a different defensive coordinator, different sort of
hmm
philosophy and mindset. So it could very well be that the Raiders were looking at him as being in a prove it year basically.
Uh huh.
Um, and obviously because of the injuries, maybe they could very well be saying to them he's not worth it, right?
Correct.
Because he can't stay on the field and it's just a waste of money. So, but and also like I said, the other factors that the linebacker free agency market going into this free agency period is it's stacked. I mean, as you mentioned, got a guy like David Long, who he set career high in tackles for loss and quarterback hits this year. Although he can't hit the quarterback anymore, so that doesn't really matter. But he definitely wreaked a lot of havoc in the backfield um, for the Titans. That's definitely be a huge get. Levante David obviously comes to mind. But like we said, the one only thing with him is the age. Um, so we'll have to see. But obviously with the cap situation we have right now, which is pretty good, we can make it work, guys. Wild, at least one of
hmm
these guys.
I'm really excited to see what's gonna happen with Carr here in the next couple of days or next week after the Super Bowl. We're gonna really see what's gonna happen, bro. Like, the Saint he went to the Saints today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Has there any news that came out on what happened between both of them or anything or nothing?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so like basically the Raiders and Saints agreed on compensation, which I think basically means that like on their end, like on the as far as the Raiders and Saints go, 'cause that's two out of the three pieces here. A trade is okay, but Carr, who's the third piece, who has the no trade clause, he has to be the one to say, okay, it's okay for you guys to trade me to the
Mhm.
Saints, and that's where the
And I
celestial.
think and I think Carr will say yes, even though like how you say, he has a no trade clause.
Right.
Carr's Carr's can't. I'm not gonna be 100% on this. I'm gonna be like Carr did say that he said that he would accept the trade to wherever they would possibly send him. But like you said, you never know. The next day somebody or say this, say somebody was like really happy the next day. Next day they're really pissed off, right? So
Right.
there's always a certain mood swing, or maybe the next day Carr's like, I don't want to go to the Saints. I'm gonna say no to that.
Right.
So, but you
I think
you you never
he's
you
there so the Saints and him can talk about the contract. Like
mhm.
that, I think he's over there is because I don't think they can even make a trade possible unless the Carr's willing to want to renegotiate that contract, and they know that. So I think, like I said, getting them there to show him the place and everything, he's been
I
there. I
hope
mean,
we get Lattimore, bro.
I think that they need to be able to talk to him to be like, hey, are you willing to move off that contract to where we can help the team? So,
Hmm.
so
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the only thing I would say is that first of all, if I'm Carr and I'm being spiteful because of the way things have gone down, I would just be using these permissions to visit these other teams as you know free agency talks, basically, like saying like, okay, listen, like, you know, it would be a lot easier for you guys to sign me as a free agent, and you could, because obviously the guaranteed money's in there, and you don't have to worry about trading assets over to the Raiders. Um, so if I would personally approach it that way, because it's very easy for Carr to just exercise his no trade clause and just say every single team that the Raiders agree on compensation with, um, it wouldn't fly for him. So um, there's that to consider. I just, and for that reason, I don't think the Raiders have a lot of leverage as far, because like
that'd be a form of tampering under the contract. So I don't know if you even try that shit because he's there because of a trade. He's not there because of free agent. Like he can't have those type of talks. Like if you even bring something up like that, that's tampering. The minute that type of talks brought up, it's tampering instantly. So, I mean, being there and wanting to talk about, hey, can we restructure the contract to be able to make the trade for you? That you're talking trade talk. You go in there and say like, hey, you engage me, and there's nothing saying that the Raiders would even cut him to let him to even go to free agency because I've said this a bunch of times. All you can hold on to him all the way to the post June 1st and still accumulate $33 million. So who gives a fuck if you're not getting $7 million more? What is it, 7.8 million? So they ate 49.8 million in dead cap last year. I'm pretty sure 7 million ain't gonna hurt them. And again, you're still recuperating a lot of fucking money. And why would you just off them off like that? I just can't see it. So I wouldn't see it like that. And they can, I don't, like I said, I don't think they can engage any type of talks like that. I think it's more like show the faculty, meet the players, or, like the coaching staff, and then fucking, like I said, I think they're there for the contract. Like that's why I really think Carr even went over there is so they can engage how they can restructure the contract. Can they drop the contract in the first year, be able to pay it, give them a signing bonus? Like I said, you're in the whole $60 million, $60 million. You can take on the contract. You can still get rid of players. So then you got to explain to him, like, okay, we're going to trade for you, but we're also going to have to lose a lot of these players too. Are you all right with that? Yeah, I'm all right. You know what I mean? Like he's got a lot more going on there. So I don't think, like I said, the minute they even bring up fucking talk like that, you're going to tamper. It's still the league year. The league year ain't over. So that's all I'm saying. You can't do those types of talks.
I mean, to me, it seems like it'd be easy enough to get away with. I mean, I don't know if tampering's the right term because
It's
I think
100% the term. That it's not the quiet. It's 100% the term. You go to a faculty and talk about free agency with the player under contract through the Raiders. There's nothing implying the Raiders have to cut him. That you guys are making assumptions that they're going to cut him. He's just going to enter free agency. And even if you're implying that, you can't even imply that to another team until the season's over. Like you can't do that. That's what it's called tampering. Like again, I said this just 2 minutes. He's there because it's trade talking. That's why he's there. He has no trade clause. He can you go there and even bring up fucking free agency tampering instantly. Trading, tampering. Like those are two totally different subjects. To even imply that, hey, we would give you 40 million if he came here and free tampering instantly. They would, like I said, the talk would have to be we've already talked with the Raiders. They're in agreement of this fucking type of compensation for you. We're willing to make that type of compensation. The thing is we're 60 million over the cap here. We need to figure out a way to keep it within reasonable doubt. So how can we work with your contract to make that happen? Like that's guaranteed what they're doing. Like there's no fucking doubt in my mind. So but you can't, like I said, you can't do those. You can see, like, I guess the only way you can say without a form of tampering is if they would be interested that you're there. Like that should be good enough fucking hint there. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna use that to free agency, like to use it for a free agency guest, that would be about the best I can tell you because I'm telling you, them teams can't do that, dude. That shit's monitored big time, dude. And it doesn't matter if you think that shit's monitored massively. So, I mean, just like I said, go ask the fucking Miami. They'll tell you about it. They just had it happen last year. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, like obviously with the Miami thing, to me, the big difference here is that Tampa Bay didn't want to trade him away.
we want to outlook the player. The discussion of being Sean or Brady, tampering is tampering. Tell the league year's over. You cannot talk about somebody else's contract, let alone them coming to your team or you signing them when they're under contract to another team. Like that's the end. Like that's just how it is.
Because I remember reading not so long ago, maybe it was like last week, that the whole point of the Raiders not giving Carr permission to talk to other teams at first was because they didn't want that very thing to happen. They didn't want free agent discussions to happen.
Talking, when did they say that? They didn't say that. You're reading beat writers' ass fucking comments, dude. Like the NFL rules are pretty state. You can look it up online and you can look up the NFL rules. We're not going by beat writer rules here, okay? We're not going by a Twitter feed fucking person talking. Like you go by the NFL fucking rules. Like that's how that shit works. So if some guy implied that in his fucking post, well, you should imply the rules of the NFL, not his fucking post. Like the fucking Raiders, none of these guys have come out and said not one fucking thing publicly to anybody outside of maybe one dude. All these other guys are just riding it. You think the Raiders contacted all fucking, 100 of these fucking YouTubers, beat writers, people? They didn't contact me. They didn't contact fucking anybody out here. So, like I said, you might have one or two dudes, and then people are just running off what they're saying. But the rules are the rules, man. Like it's not some Twitter motherfucker. It's the rules of the NFL. rules of the NFL state that it's not about if they want to let Carr go somewhere and engage. You can engage all you fucking want. It has jack shit to do with anything. Like, again, just I said this in our show 2 times ago that when they fucking engage a talk or not, they still have to cut them. So that talk has zero effect if they don't cut them. It's zero effect. And again, until the league year is over, they can't have that talk anyways. The only thing that this agent gains by going over here and trying to propose a trade is if what you're saying is the only thing he can say is that, okay, when we went around trying to work out a deal for the Raiders, we had 8 teams interested. So if you want to use that type of logic going into the free agency, you can say we had 8 teams interested. Like, that's all you can really say. But you can't fucking go over to those teams and say, well, he's going to give me 40 and he's going to give me 41. You can't have those type of talks. Can't even engage in them talks. So those talks won't exist. They don't exist, and they're not going to exist. We can sit here and put hypothetical, well, it's not what if. That shit is fucking monitored to a very high fucking level. It's a multi-billion-dollar corporation. It's not a fucking bunch of people on YouTube talking. Like, that shit's fucking monitored massively. So it's like I said, when people are say tampering, they fucking get down people's phone records, everything. They can search that shit at any given time. You know, like, that's the rules that these dudes apply to go into the union and even play in this fucking game. So, like I said, that it's not happening. The only thing they can do is engage that, like I just said, 8 teams were interested. So when free agency comes, you can say, are those 8 teams still interested? Like, that's about all you can do. And if I would say, if a team was trying to trade for you, I'd probably be willing to say they are interested. So, but like I
Right.
said,
Yeah,
it's
it was
contract talk right now. I think it's 100% contract between Saints and Carr right now.
I agree with you too,
yeah.
Dustin. I
So
think with the Carr and the Saints, bro, I think it's really shown, and then it's gonna be really interesting within the next couple days what's gonna happen. It's gonna I'm gonna be curious. We gotta predict the trade packages, bro. We gotta think of what's gonna happen.
Thing the Saints are going to go have talk right now with them and say, we'll fully guarantee the $34 million. I don't think they have an issue with that. I think where they're going to have the issue is that they're going to have a 41, 42 million one coming right behind it. And especially trying to rebuild a team, it's going to be pretty fucking hard. So what I can see them saying is yes, we'll make the trade. We'll fully guarantee year one. Like, year one, we'll fully guarantee you the year one, 34 million. Let us give you 20 million signing, put you on the books for 14 fucking million, and we'll fucking go that route. But next year, we have to restructure your contract next year. So right now you're on 3-year, let's do 4-year. You know what I mean? And let's move that 40 million to 35 fucking million. You know, like, that's what they can most definitely do. And that's what I think they're gonna try to do, is move this contract from 3 to 4 years, moving from the 41, 42 million hit and put it around the $35 million hit, which would be just fine. And then, like I said, year one would come out of the owner's pocket, which he's done this numerous times. So if Carr's agreed with that, and listen, if Carr you don't think they already had these talks already? Like, if Carr wasn't in agreement or thinking about it, his ass would have been on a plane heading home already. So the fact that he's there, he's obviously entertaining it.
yeah, I mean, obviously the guy's assessing his options. That was sort of like the thinking even before, or when it was announced that the Raiders were at the time we're not going to give him permission to seek any other trades. It didn't really make any sense, especially long term, because he needs to assess his options in order to not use his no trade clause. In other words, ultimately say give the high sign to the Raiders that it's okay to trade him somewhere.
Bless you.
So, oh, whoever sneezed. So yeah, so I mean, it does make sense that he's doing, as Ian Rappaport put it, I think he put it very well. He's assessing his options, he's doing his due diligence, and as of now, no trade is imminent. But that could change following this visit. And as we've also said today already, there are pretty much any destination in the NFC South is a good one. We're still looking at two, maybe three definite candidates for him. Yeah, and there are other X factors, like does he still have that sentimental relationship with Dennis Allen, who obviously they shared a year in Oakland with. He shared a year in Oakland
Yeah,
with him.
he was there when he was a rookie.
Right. But I mean that to me isn't like the best example of a relationship
Yeah.
probably flourishing because it was only the 1 year and Dennis Allen was already out.
I think it's the stability of the fucking organization. Like, I think that's what Pete Carr is going to probably look at. One, Carr and them has swept the fuck, or the Saints have swept Tampa even with Brady there when he was there, even playing. So
This was
the
Brady's first year sweeping them.
organization, even in the cap purgatory that they're in, even changing from that, what, fuck, Sean McVay ain't been there for, what, fucking 2 years now? Fucking, no, probably even longer, huh? No, it's been
McVay?
2 years.
He's been there since 2017.
Yeah, it's been 6 years now.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was 18.
McVay was the coach since 2017 and then since now.
Peyton, bro, and fucking the Saints, man.
Oh, Sean Payton? He's been
Yeah,
there for a long time.
Yeah,
When
Payne's been there
when
since
Breeze was there.
2006.
2 years, 2 years or so, I think, is how long he's been out. Or has it
No,
been
it's
long?
one. It's one.
Yeah, he left
Because
after.
the year
21.
last year when they went 8-8, they after that was it.
100%. So you think
Or
you said
9-8.
about it, even with the cap purgatory that they've been in, everything of the factor, the team still was playing at a pretty good level of football. So I mean, I think when Carr's looking at an organization, that's probably a good place to be looking at because even with them being in a high purgatory of cap, they're still a good, consistent football team. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
he was to go and I think he would have to go in there and rebuild, kind of just like what Aaron would have to come here. Like Aaron comes here, they have to break down the team and rebuild it, and then hope that you're going to get them to that next level. Help get past that next level. Where I think that they would have to do that same thing with Carr. The only difference I would say is Carr's going to an organization that has succeeded in this in recent years, where the
Hey,
Raiders
so
haven't.
Dustin, here's the thing though. If we're gonna trade Derek Carr to the Saints, not saying we will, I'm just saying like if we were to trade Derek Carr to the Saints right now, what's the trade package or how are we gonna get Aaron Rodgers?
I'm telling you this. I wouldn't try for Rodgers, but what I would try to do with Carr is see. This is why I think where people are like, "Well, the third round pick, fuck that shit." I would
A
shoot.
third rounder for Carr is crazy.
Look, I would say Rodgers for fucking or Carr for fucking Lattimore, dude. Like I'd be like,
I would
listen,
love to do that trade.
quarterback. He's gonna be here a fucking lot longer. I would, let us fucking move off on Lattimore. Like that's what I would do. I would try to shoot for the Lattimore trade. I wouldn't care for the draft picks. Like if I shot for Lattimore and they said, okay, we'll give you Lattimore for Carr, but you got to give us back a third round pick or a fourth round, I'd do it. I'd fucking do it. I mean, Lattimore's a better pick than anything in there. The main part of the trade is kind of like the Yannick and Rakia, the Yannick and Rakia trade. The Yannick and Rakia trade, where people don't realize where it made the most sense is that Yannick was on the books for $13 million, dude. Rakia was only on the books for like a few million. So you cleared a lot of cap on that move. So it was really good move.
Rock is a good player too. Keep in mind, I don't think Yannick's regressed for sure.
John, they won't have a choice, bro. When you're over the cap for $60 million, you don't really got much choice about who the fuck you're keeping or not. When you got to get rid of 80 of your major players, I'm pretty sure
The Saints have so many players that they paid. Like let's take a list. Look at this list. They have Alvin Kamara, Ryan Ramczyk. They got Kamara. I said Kamara. Michael Thomas, Cameron Jordan, Demario Davis, Tyrann Mathieu, Marcus May, Marshawn Lattimore, and then I think they just paid Marcus Davenport last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if they don't want a player to do something. Like, they may not have a choice. So, and again, in the Carr deal is And again,
They
they've
have
succeeded
got to know him.
offensively, so maybe they go back
Which is
offensively.
in parentheses, which means it's not necessary to add the God. See?
Dude, difference was
Parentheses.
that
It
Peyton
makes
there
complete sense without it. He has to post photos.
here
He
and
has
breathe
to know him.
the
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
they
So
have.
if
They
they
all
can
have to post
with
photos.
Noah, your
They
mic's
have
on.
got to post photos.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, yes, yeah,
Adam
because
most,
there's one in the other. They have to know him. They
and
have to
again,
know him.
the offer
They
it,
have
dude. If
got
they
to
want
know.
Carr enough, I'm pretty sure they're gonna move off the fucking player. I'm pretty damn sure. I mean, the thing is about it is that the Saints obviously are intriguing it because they need it, and you got to remember, dude, they still have fucking Taysom, Jamison Winston, and who else
Dude,
is
Carr and Taysom Hill might be a crazy thing, bro.
they got still got numerous quarterbacks there, and they're over there entertaining Carr with the trade right now. We got Jamison Winston that was over in Tampa Bay throwing 5,000 yards a season like nothing. Comes over here, sits behind them, and they're still like, well, we'll still take Carr. So that obviously debate where Winston was better than Carr was out the window the second that Carr showed up over there,
Oh,
right?
they said that the Saints are trying to trade Taysom Hill away to the Bronx because of Sean Payton. They want him to go to the Broncos.
I mean, a lot of people are going to say a lot
No,
of,
that's because that's Sean's guy. Sean developed him to play that certain role in their playbook.
yeah, we got fucking Russell Wilson in this fucked up fucking organization here. Okay.
But yeah, that honestly that doesn't really make sense though, because Taysom and Russ have pretty much the same resemblance in scrambling.
So what's the point?
That's what I'm saying. But I mean maybe I don't know I don't know the real point of why Sean really likes this guy.
Yeah, I don't
But
know if she's even said that.
no, it's come out though that Sean wants to get Taysom Hill. He said it.
When did he say it?
It was in a I think it was on one of the pages on Twitter or something where they were asking Sean Payton like if there's one player you want to bring from the Saints, he's like I want Taysom Hill because he fits the system or something like that. He would fit my sort of offense.
They
But it
asked,
wouldn't make sense because he has a 4-year, $40 million contract just to play backup quarterback.
well, they even said to Crosby, dude, they said, yeah, but that was their stupid ass fucking deal. And you think that's even proves more point. You really think that the Broncos are going to take that contract on? Okay. They just fucking Russell Wilson for what?
But at
200?
that point, they probably would, though. The Broncos are stupid. They just throw money at people. Russell Wilson.
So much money. It don't matter how much money you're throwing at a fucking guy. You only got so much of it to throw at a guy.
That's
They're
what I'm
not.
saying.
They're not paying
That's why I chuckled when I said Russell Wilson.
dollars, dude. Like the reason they can pay Taysom that, and the reason that they're probably even entertaining to getting rid of him is because of Carr. Like
Yeah.
fucking and them ain't making that kind of money, dude. The only reason that guy making that money is because they did that contract a few years ago, and it came back and bit him because they thought he was going to be the quarterback. So
Yeah, because of Breeze. Yeah.
yeah, that's fucking crazy. He said, I think I heard Sean doesn't like Russell. Well, doesn't matter if he likes him there till 2025.
Yep. He has that goddamn fully guaranteed contract. Fucking idiots.
You
But
fuck up
Dustin, I'm
that much.
gonna you can hear me, right?
Yep.
I was gonna say, I just wanted to come here for like 20, 30 minutes just to chill. I'm gonna head out for the night. Actually, I'm hella tired. I just want to
Alright.
come here. Happy birthday, man! Though
Yeah, heck yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate you. See
I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up later. All right, man. Have a good night.
yeah, you too, man.
All
Hey,
right,
Cortez.
see you,
You fuck
Cortez.
Cortez, you over there fucking on the phone or what, dude?
I'm on the phone. I'll be right.
Oh man, get the hell off the phone.
All right, I'll be right there.
This fucking guy over here on the fucking phone in here with them.
I was talking family.
Family every time.
Huh?
You have subjects that you want to talk about before we hop off here?
No, we talked already about Lamar.
Lamar, fuck it. You said that his name up in this fool.
Joyner. Hey, I know who's behind that. I told you already once before. I'll tell you.
What are you talking about?
I'll talk to you later about it.
About what?
Who just? Man, fuck. I gotta answer this.
Oh hell no, dude. What are we talking about here, man? Raiders at the NFL honor. Well, that was Noah's. Saints offer. Man, we've already talked about Carr for fucking minutes. So Marshall Lattimore exchanging for Carr. I mean, that's what I said. I would just do the Carr for Lattimore. I mean, Lattimore is 27 years old, dude. I mean, fucking guy is one of the best man press corners in the league. And he'd be instant number one for us over here. I mean, instantly. And yeah, he didn't play last year for very many games, but at the same time, I mean, he'd be a great ad there. And even if you retain Locky's only going to get signed for $7 to $10 million, dude. Like, so he's even got injured and was out towards the end of the year. So it's not like he's going to come out here and get no $20 million contract. I think Lakia is like 7.5 to 10 million. Like, I think that's all we're even going to even entertain. So if you're saying you're getting Lattimore, because Lattimore's contract down there is showing that it's hitting at 22 million, but we're only going to pay annually 14.5 million. That was paid out in signings and so on like that. So I think that to go get him at $14.5 million, but again, you can restructure. You're going to have to restructure Marshawn Lattimore's contract because he's going to take a freaking pretty good cap hit against the team, and they're not going to want that. So they'll probably be like, hell, if you're going to do Carr, because Lattimore don't have a no trade clause, so he don't get no fucking, he don't even get a say in it. They'll just restructure and fucking tell him get the hell on out of here. But he gets a say in the restructure part with his agent. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it would be us talking to him, not them. Raider Bear is coming to YouTube. I would love to see you goes on a show. My two favorite shows. Raider Bear is coming to YouTube. I would love to see you goes on a show. My two favorite shows. I mean, are you saying that you'd love to see him go on to the show with them? And is Raider Bear? Oh, obviously, fucking says Raider Bear. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of deal going there. I just think like if Carr wasn't interested with the Saints or the Saints weren't interested with him, and I get it. People are like, well, look at the cap. They wouldn't even entertain the possibility of it if they knew they couldn't restructure.
I'm back.
If they couldn't restructure the cap to even get him. So when they bring Carr in there, they already know that they can get Carr. Like you don't bring a guy to the deal that you can let him leave after tomorrow, and other teams are like, okay, the Saints got him down there, so now it's go time to go get a player. And like so people can start hitting up Carr like, hey, we want to get in there, we want to talk to you now since other teams are. I would think if you were the Saints and you were that desperate for a quarterback and you're bringing him in, you obviously know you can sign him because you wouldn't have had him there in the first place. Let him leave. Like, you're not going to try to let him leave if you know that's the best possibility. And I've said, dude, like if Carr wants to be real, man, like if we want to be real, right? If Carr got picked as a Raider and he got picked as a fucking losing ass fucking team, okay? Like, straight facts. We were losing ass organization. We weren't winning fucking shit. He didn't win shit. What was he? 0-13. Fucking he didn't even win his first game till week 11 or week 13, and he got back-to-back wins. Or did he go 3 wins? He got 3 wins, Carr in his first year. And and he didn't even get it till like week 11 or 13 in the season.
Wasn't it against KC that he got the win?
Yeah. And then, but what my point is that he came to win losing ass organization his whole entire time in a really hard division too. So like Patrick Mahomes and all that, I mean that's pretty hard. You got Justin Herbert, the Donkeys been whatever it is. It doesn't even really matter. They're fucking dinks anyways. But long story short is that when you're going over there to the fucking Saints, like dude, you're looking at the Tampa Bay just demolished their whole entire coaching staff, offensively and defensively. So that whole coaching staff's in turmoil. You still have a really good core of players because just because the coaching staff is in turmoil doesn't mean the players are. They still got good fucking offense, good defense. So once they get the player or the coaches in there, you still have a really good base core team. So outside of that, but again, the Saints shown that they beat up Tom Brady even at that team at their deal. So if you're looking at that, the Saints just have the one up on Tampa Bay already. Then you're looking at Carolina, which, yeah, all right, Carolina has pieces, this, that, and the other. And I know people are making Carolina look better than what they are, but the reality is that fucking the Saints have been way more dominant in that division than Carolina has. And all they did was go to Frank Wright, which Frank Wright was over in fucking the Colts with multiple quarterbacks that have been through there, and they still weren't fucking winning shit. And he had fucking Jonathan Taylor, he had Pittman, he had fucking Hill, he had multiple people there. They had a good offensive line, they had good defensive players, and I would even beg to differ that they had better core players in the Colts at the time than they do in the Panthers. So I'm not going to be hopping over on that bullshit ass train, period. So like I said, I mean, I'm not saying that they don't have good potential ground, but I believe that the Colts had a better base and he didn't do good with them either. So what makes you think that he's going to come over here with Aaron motherfucking Donald when he had fucking Carson Wentz through 27 and fucking 4? What did he throw? 27 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and they shipped that fool off. Then they got stuck over here with Matt Ryan and all this bullshit. I mean, like I said, that guy, they built that shit themselves. So for me, if I'm just being honest, that I'm gonna say that fucking I don't think the Panthers are gonna be that as good as people think they think they're gonna be. And then if I'm the other team is what the Falcons, right? So I mean, fucking you got the Falcons as the next team, and then that's gonna be Desmond Ritter, dude, with fucking Drake London and Pitts, dude, where Pitts didn't even get used worth a fuck this year. Like people were talking about him being top 5 tight end, and then all of a sudden this boy ain't fucking top 20 shit. And then, but again, I don't blame Pitts. I would blame more Mariota because he's a little running faster than passing. So
Well, shit, I thought, hey, Dustin, not to cut you off. I thought right now you were driving, but I forget that the semis go right there because I seen a semi going by. That shit got me
then I
tripping.
would say like fucking Drake London, dude. I mean, he's a beast. My point is that team's too young. The consistency is not there. So, what team is really going to challenge Carr? There's not going to be a team to challenge Carr, man. Like Kyle Trask ain't doing it. If they get Jimmy G, I mean, Jimmy G in Tampa Bay would probably not be a bad idea, and that can probably be a spot. But then, okay, if that's the case, why would Carr just go to Tampa Bay? Because it does have the better core of players. But then you got to look at this. Then you're like, okay, Tampa Bay had the better core of players, had the better quarterback, and still beat Tampa Bay. So if I'm Carr, maybe you might want to be on the Saints team in that division because for whatever reason the Saints have. So I think that the Saints wouldn't be a bad spot. The way that whole division is, like go from not winning the fucking to winning divisional titles like every fucking year. Like that's the thing I'm saying is that division is so up in the fucking up in the sky. It's not even funny. And Carr, I mean, fucking 3 years, Carr can have three divisional titles, dude, and fucking he ain't had one here one time. And then that changes the whole way people are going to look at Carr because they're going to say, well, Carr won the division 3 times. They're not going to take into consideration that, yeah, when Carr went over there, all these teams were fucking depleted and in chaos. It's just that Carr won the division. That's how they're going to look at it. Dude is he fucking did the Chiefs, but over there, so I think if I was Carr, you'd want that trade. You'd want that trade. You'd want to work the contract. You would want to get a trade done over there. Like you'd want to, it'd favor you more. It favors you more as your career, the way people look at you. Like you're not just going to some slouch team either. Like you're still going to keep some of your main core base players. So again, like I said, if I was Carr, I'd push for that trade to happen. And if we hear from, like I said, if Carr didn't think he was even entertaining it, he would have been on the plane back. The agent can talk to him on the phone. Usually, if they're staying the night and then waiting till tomorrow is because they're trying to work out numbers that can work out the fucking contract. I mean, I think it was Mike McCarthy when he was over there with the Cowboys where what was it like 5 a.m. in the morning, dude, because he was over in his house fucking having all talking about this, that, and the other.
Yeah,
And then
bro. The crazy thing. Let's talk about that. Like
yeah,
for
5
him staying the night, it's something big. Like some players wouldn't stay the night.
yeah, they would just hop on, dude. Like he's only a few hours away on a
Yeah,
jet.
Max is like 2, and plus that he had a private jet from Las Vegas to fly him out there. And the cool thing about him, he didn't even have to go through STA or them people that you gotta go through at the airport because he had that private plane to take off in.
He could have took as much butt as he wanted over there. They would
Yeah,
never.
he doesn't give a care.
He just
'Cause
got
they
to.
don't fuck with
He's
any
got
athletes.
to. Holy, this is the holy weed, man.
Just imagine Carr smokes a Doug, a blunt.
What do you think about him going there? Why do you think it? What do you think that means? Do you think
For him staying overnight, that they're trying to get the deal done and finalized, to be honest. Because we only got 6 days left. If Carr didn't like the spot, Carr would have been already back, and then the Raiders could have looked at other teams that were already interested in him.
Well, I just think like when you're looking at the way this is like Carr went over there at 9 o'clock our time, it's 12 o'clock their time. So Carr flies over there, it takes about 2 hours. It's going to be 11 our time to their time. So Carr goes through the faculty, everything. They all fucking talk. They eat. They bullshit. They show all the coaches. So we're probably looking at about 5, 6 their time. If Carr didn't like what was going on, he
Carr
could have
would have
been
been gone on the plane back.
back over here at 3 o'clock. Because if he left there around 6, you got to remember he's going back in time now, which puts him back in here around 3 o'clock our time. So that's what I'm saying is people can't say, well, it was getting late. He didn't. Nah, man, that's not the East Coast products off the West Coast because that's how it has to do it. The West Coast is generating in more time. They're up earlier, we're up later. So if you're doing business, it shuts off like say at midnight their time, 9 o'clock our time. You know what I mean? Because eventually it's just going to get too fucking late. So when you're looking at 6, it would be nothing. Like they would have went till midnight, dude. They'd be out there. There's something there, obviously, that they see that they want to still speak on.
And maybe it's not just Carr that went. Maybe his agent team went. Somebody from the agent went with them.
I mean,
And maybe Carr might have said, "Oh yeah, if this works out, I might as well just scoop the area close by to New Orleans, see if I could get me a house, and get the whole deal done."
yeah, I ain't gonna lie. They probably already could get him a house.
Yeah, like scope it out, like an area that he wants to stay at. Like,
Sure, they'd give him a house for sure. Maybe they're like, hey, this is where you can live. Go check it out. Here's the keys. Look at it tonight. Let us know what you think tomorrow.
yeah, it may. We don't know. I have a strong feeling, Dustin, that he's
If,
gonna be a Saint.
if it wasn't about the contract, he'd already be heading back.
Yeah.
Just
So they're trying to figure out the numbers.
since everybody's there, he's not there by himself.
No, hell no. His agent, his wife, his kids might have flew with him.
Yeah, I would imagine probably that, so they can all meet everybody.
Yeah, meet the whole team. And
And I don't.
maybe some of the players are gonna come through tomorrow, and then he could interact with some of the players.
Yeah, I just don't think Carr is going there to fucking. I think Carr has got to
Carr
see it.
really wants to be a Saint, I think, in my opinion.
Well, I kind of think it too because, like I said, Carr,
Why wouldn't he? The coach that drafted him is there, and
dude,
they still had relationships since the coach got fired. No, there was no fighting after, and they're very cool with each other. Carr talks to him, I bet, often.
facts.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know
We should find out in a couple hours or a couple days.
players they got set up over there. I mean, dude, I'll tell you this. We are gonna hop off here pretty quick here.
Yeah.
One things I do want to talk about real quick is, and this isn't about the Raiders anymore. I just want to let people know that I'm beyond ecstatic that the motherfucking Lakers got rid of Russell Westbrook, bro.
Uh,
And yeah,
Westbrook finally, it took you guys almost 2 years to get rid of his ass.
that guy fucked up.
Westbrook, you mean? His name's not Westbrook. It's
Man,
Westbrook.
you dude, to go out there and get fucking D'Angelo, to get fucking Beasley and fucking Vanderbilt. Oh my god, our team's gonna be so much better instantly, man. So I'm
So
just
so
like,
then is what's his name still gonna be the starter? Isn't
who?
Vanderbilt a point or power forward?
The starters will probably be D'Angelo, Beasley, D'Angelo, Beasley, Rue, LeBron, and AD. That'd probably be your starting five, right?
So then you're switching out Patrick Beverly?
You would probably play. Oh yeah, by far, like fucking Beasley is a way better 3-point shooter than Beverly. So yeah, if you move Beverly to the second squad, then you got Vanderbilt and Bryant and all them over there with Revis, dude, and yeah, you most
What's
definitely would.
going on with Juan Tostano Anderson?
He's hurt, dude. He's got a bleeding pussy every game now, dude. I don't know what's up with that guy.
He needs to come back to the Warriors. He needs to get that ring.
Surprised we didn't trade that fool. But you're not getting a ring, fool. We're about to dog your ass.
No, you are not gonna do nothing, man.
Listen, our
No.
our schedule is one of the toughest, probably if not the toughest in the NBA right now. Like we're playing
There's
fucking.
28 games left.
I don't give a fuck. We're only 4 games out, dude, and we've been fucking back and forth these fucking dudes every single game, dude. And now it's with Westbrook and the team. This team right here is easily upgraded instantly, better with than Westbrook being on the team by far.
Oh, mother. These fuckers lost tonight.
You think do you think we can make the playoffs by this roster change?
No.
I do. Fuck, I do for sure. 4 games ain't shit now, dude. Like I think we're gonna have a way better chance unless the chemistry.
We're in 7th right now.
Say again.
We're in 7th.
What are we? 13th, right?
We're a half game back of 6. You guys
we're-
are 13th.
Yeah, and how many games?
3 games.
See, that's nothing. That's fucking nothing. Just go think about it. You think that we don't win, that we want to win that game with D'Angelo and fucking Beasley instead of Westbrook last night?
Hey, James Wiseman's out of here.
Left and right, bro. That dude
Hey.
throws the ball to fucking nobody. LeBron wide the fuck open in the down in the fucking key. This bitch throws it to the side corner. Like he threw it to the
Hey
bench. But
Dustin. Hey Dustin, guess who's coming?
who?
We're getting rid of Wiseman out of here tomorrow. Blockbuster trade.
Wiseman? What?
James Wiseman's leaving.
How do you know that?
Moses Moutier is out of here too.
How do you know that?
Because we're getting better players.
I mean,
These fools are warm. These fuckers are taking spots on the bench. They're sitting on the bench.
going to trade young players for veteran players. I did hear him say that.
Who?
The Warriors. I heard him say that they would trade those guys, the younger players, for veteran players. He said, "Haven't seen a Raider Bear show since I stopped using Facebook." At John,
I'll hit you up behind the scenes with that.
Bear is a cool guy. All right, well, with what?
No, I'll talk to you about that.
A about what? Wiseman or fucking this Bear dude?
Yeah. I'll tell you some stuff about that.
Either way, freaking
We're out of here, aren't we?
No, I wanted to say that the Josh Hart fucking trade was shocking too. Like I did not see that coming, dude. With Josh Hart and Dame for British. I thought that was a crazy ass trade too, right there, because Hart been playing.
Hey, Dustin, tell me this: how the heck did Andrew Wiggins get me 67 points?
I fucking couldn't tell you. Well, I probably got my ass kicked, dude. My players are hurt, dude. D'Angelo, so D'Lo, he don't even play tonight because they trade him, and they don't let the motherfucker play. So I don't even get fantasy points for him because he's playing tonight. But they deactivated him because they traded him. Like that's some bullshit, dude.
Man, bro, I would have blew out Jeff more than what I have.
This free agent bullshit, dude. Like I'm not even lying. It's just that shit's garbage. Yeah, it says that York is sending Cam Reddish and a protected future first round to Portland for Josh Hart. Says cameras caught the moment Portland found out Josh was headed to the Knicks, dude, and they say heartbroken. Then Kyrie's first Mavs bucket. Blazers could get 4 picks. Knicks are trading Portland the lottery projected first round pick. That becomes 4 future second rounds otherwise. I don't get that, but whatever. Person highs for the trade Hart or for the Hart trade.
Hey, bro, you want to know something?
Huh. Jaylen Brown is, dude. What?
Oh, no, you guys traded. You guys do not have Juan Tostano Anderson. I don't know. Juan Tostano Anderson ain't on your team no more.
All right, good.
Damian Jones to the Jazz.
Oh,
and then Nikhil Alexander Walker to Timberwolves. Damn. So 3 Warriors got traded in one day.
Who got traded today?
Juan Tostano Anderson was part of that trade.
Part of what trade?
The D'Lo.
Oh, what today?
Andrew Wurmanowski says also in the deal Juan Tostano Anderson and Damian Jones to Utah. Nicolo Alexander Walker to the Timberwolves, sources say. Damn, that's crazy. 3 Warriors traded in one day. 3 former Warriors traded in one day.
Hey, Lillard got a triple double. Let's go. I got him on fantasy, so maybe.
Man, I don't want to. We lost tonight too.
Raiders Legion said that the Trailblazers kicked the fuck out of the Warriors.
Oh, Loon, I don't want to hear it, bro.
all their players are fucking injured because they don't know how to play basketball.
There you go, Dustin. What's up, Loon?
They just don't worry, I'll add a lot to that comment just so you know. He said that
So this is the final trading deadline, or the trade
better than
finalize the trade to land D'Angelo Russell, Beasley, and that. He was part of the trade.
that's good. We gave up barely anything and got back fucking balling ass shit. So I'm good
Hey,
with
didn't
it.
you guys draft D'Lo?
Yep. He coming back with the fucking purple and gold. He coming back when he's better. Like that's the kind of shit kind of pissed me off about Kuzma and fucking Brian Ingram because I'm like, man, he's my and fucking what's his name, Randall. All three of those motherfuckers and Clarkson, dude, like four dudes. Like it pissed me off that once the dudes leave, they go somewhere else. Play hella good, and we don't get them back. Where this time we get D'Lo back, and I'm like, fuck, I've been saying it for a while. I'd take him back. Like him playing with LeBron and them is gonna make so much more sense.
Hey,
Dude.
bro, my boy had
Fucking all over the fucking.
DiVincenzo had a good game though.
Who?
DiVincenzo. He had 18 points.
What did my team have, dude? How far am I behind in here now? I'm probably getting my ass beat, dude. I mean, it's the first time I'm legitimately gonna lose, like straight up.
Fuck, bro. Jordan Poole scored 38 points.
38.
Yeah, to D'Lo's 33, or for Damian Lillard's 33 points.
How many points did Lillard get?
33.
Well, that ain't bad.
Let me go see how much he got. And don't you have him?
Yep. Go look at my deal and see how far behind I am. Fuck, you
You're
probably got.
roughly 200 behind.
Yeah, but I had two players not play, right? I mean, Russell didn't play, and fucking
Oh shit, he got you 70.
who did?
Lillard.
Let's go. Dude, I got KD on the bench or on IR. I got Luca on IR, dude. I got fucking.
hella players on IR.
Dude, I mean, I had that fucking. I picked up that dude. That's that shooting guard. Uh, small
Damn,
forward.
Jordan Poole got 54 points tonight.
What's that dude's name on my team that fucking didn't play? They tell you this shit like 5 minutes before the game, dude. It's bullshit, man. I hate the fucking fantasy basketball in that aspect. Like they don't tell you that.
Hey, bro, I need to go do a trade right now.
You're not dealing with nobody. I told you that last night over in the town. What's trade? I told you.
I'm trading right now for Klay Thompson.
Yeah. Oh, good luck with that one.
Who should I get rid of? Shooter?
Dude, they ain't never gonna give up trades that are legit, bro. You guys all of you guys when you make trades, you're like, bro, I want fucking Thompson, and then you're like, yeah, but I'll give you fucking Dennis Schroeder for him. Like that's what you're gonna say.
Nah, I'm gonna put two players in this trade.
Fuck, you better put fucking somebody better than that. But that's even if they're even worth it, you know. You got to give up good players when you're doing basketball because the point values could be off instantly. I got one guy projecting 30 and the dude you're trying to give him is 22. Like, fuck, I wouldn't do that. I'm just using an example, you know what I mean? That's why I was telling Taz and you both last night, like, you both want the best players, so nobody's gonna make a trade because no one want to get them up their players. So
What would be a good trade?
Fair, like you got to look at what's fair. You know, like are you giving up a player that has 1 or 2 points higher or lower? I mean, does he make your team better because he plays on and off night? Like all those things
Bro,
matter.
Shooter's been scoring 24 points, 20 on the average.
Well, I mean, and if you're putting in an
And
player,
he's a Laker fan. Yonder's a Laker fan, bro.
other player you're giving him, because there's no way you're making that straight
And
trade.
I'll give him a center.
Like who? See, you're already.
I'll
You're
give
already,
him Steven Adams.
I mean, that'd be a good trade, but again, that does he want it? Does he need it? You know,
Let's see what he tells me.
That's a tough guy, dude. He gets points, man. He's averaging like 30.
2 players for Russ.
Say again.
2 players for Clay.
I just got lucky. I had D'Lo, and now he's a fucking Laker, bro. So like, he's probably gonna get even better points. So see, that's the difference. Like, so that's what I keep trying to say. Like in
I
basketball,
just sent that shit over. Hopefully Yonder accepts it.
yeah, in basketball and football, like D'Lo over here makes my fantasy better, and the Lakers in real life better, because Russell is like
Or
80
or
fucking.
I could throw in, if he tells me no, I could throw in Ivy. The one from the Pistons, the point guard from the Pistons. Or I could throw in Andrew Wiggins into the trade.
I mean, like I said, Klay Thompson's a beast, bro. So
I need Clay, bro. Once I get the other ones, if I get Clay,
how many points was I down? 200.
yeah, 200.
And what's today? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Yeah,
Saturday.
hey, bro, you know what's gonna be crazy? While they're on the All-Star break,
Probably
they extend our week out. Dustin, I don't know if you noticed that.
my points I got hit hard because 2 players tonight didn't play just right at the last minute. And then last night I had 2 fucking players do the same damn thing. He's got 8 players playing, I got fucking 5. Like that's just some bullshit. I thought at least tonight I was like, oh, I'm gonna catch him tonight, dude. D'Lo's the dude, he's gonna come out and play like motherfucker. And then all of a sudden, here, right in midday, I hear, oh, Jazz are looking to trade a 3-way trade for Russ, for D'Lo. I'm thinking, nah, that's bullshit. These guys say this shit all the time. And then fucking next thing I know, driving down the road and boom, what do you know? Here comes the alert, says fucking trade Westbrook to fucking Utah for fucking D'Lo. And at first I thought it was just the D'Lo. I thought it was D'Lo, and then the other people were going to the other team. So I didn't even think Beasley and fucking Vanderbilt were coming here. I thought they were going to Minnesota and freaking because I thought the Jazz was just taking Russell just to buy off the contract so we can get the fucking, free up some money. And no, fuck no. I started reading the article and it said Russ was traded over there for fucking projected 2027 first, and we get the other.
Hey, Dustin. What would you do if the Warriors got Siakam, Siakam from the Raptors?
Wouldn't be a bad one.
Shit, bro, we would just put him at center.
Yeah, wouldn't be a bad one.
Yeah, there's some shit.
They got till tomorrow to do it. Tomorrow's the trade deadline, if I remember right. I want to see AD traded, dude. Like, I want to see AD just pop up on the fucking block, dude, and get traded, like dead ass, dude. Like, I think we can play Bryant. I think Bryant's really good center, dude. He's fucking played really good this year. And I think if we fucking just AD, we can get back some.
Shit! There was a trade that just happened.
Who?
the center, San Antonio Spurs center,
Where'd he go?
Jakob Poeltl to the Toronto Raptors.
The
King
Spurs,
Burt,
the Raptors.
yeah, to the Raptors.
Nice.
Jakob Poeltl.
Dude, yeah, if we seen AD, if AD got fucking traded right now and we pick back up, fucking 2 firsts and 2 other players or something, like I'd be 100% for it in a heartbeat. Like AD ain't that guy, dude. AD's that fucking get hurt, got a little pussy fucking. He's like that movie The Glass, bro. Like he fucking he gets breathed on. If someone just breathes on him wrong, he's gonna fucking fall and break a hip, dude. Like I just, man, I fucking AD, this guy, I swear, man, like I don't like this dude at all. LeBron, you gotta think about it. All these people talk shit on LeBron. They all say, oh, LeBron, he's not that guy no more. LeBron, this, that. Motherfucker, he goddamn 37 years old and ain't that guy. How in the fuck he ain't that guy? He's the 8th best motherfucking player in the all of NBA right now.
Dang, Dustin, do you know? Do you know what the Hart trade? You
Get
know
the
that? Do you
out
know
of
that shit could change into 4 second-round picks?
who?
The Hart
Yeah,
trade.
I said it can be projected for 4 second-round picks.
Damn.
So like I said, I love when it gets down to the trade deadline shit. That's why I'm saying Carr, if they don't get a deal right here, I mean, if I was the fucking if I was the Raiders and just knew people were interested, you just can't get it done, I would fucking hold on, dude. I'd hold on to it. Yeah, they got what did they get? A 2024 first-round pick, and 2 future second-round picks in exchange for the center. See, this is where it's gonna get go time, dude. You gotta go time, get up in there and get fucking. We're 3 games out, dude, and we've been this competitive with that roster the way or the schedule the way it is. This is we're gonna fucking get up in there and be competitive as fuck now. We watch, dude. Our team only got better today, dude. It only got better today, so it's gonna take a few games to gel because they ain't played together yet. None of them have, but this old man every day.
Hey,
He's this
do
guy.
you want to know something? So the Timberwolves traded Wiggins for a 35-year-old Chris Conley and a second-round draft pick.
What was it?
For Wiggins.
What happened?
So the Timberwolves traded Mike Conley and a second rounder for technically for the for Andrew Wiggins, because we traded away D'Lo for Wiggins, but then they got rid of D'Lo, so now they got you hear what I'm saying? So they got 35-year-old Mike Conley and a second rounder for Wiggins, technically. The Warriors win. We won that trade straight out, Dustin. You know we did.
We won the trade.
No, we won the trade between us trading D'Lo for Wiggins. Did we get a chip with Wiggins?
We took a motherfucker that can't throw a ball to another play. Like, we took No Hands Cole, dude, and fucking shipped his ass off to fucking the Jazz and fucking cleared up $42 million and got 3 fucking viable players back that are really good, that matter to our core players. And Westbrook, dude,
what's his name's an asset now?
Your fan. I felt like we were fucking cursed like the Raiders, dude.
Hey, Hey, Dustin, don't you think what's his name, Deion Towns, is an asset now for a trade? Because they're
That
all in rebuild now. If you
say
think
again,
about it, Towns, he should
Carl
be,
Anthony Towns.
he should be in a trade.
Mm, I don't know, but maybe. I mean, don't they got Ant there? They got Ant and Towns there, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think frickin' I don't know. Like I said, I mean, I don't know. I just know we're gonna whoop the shit out of your team. That's all that matters, man.
yeah. I think I'm gonna hop off, bro.
Yeah, I would too if my team was gonna get beat like your team. When do we?
Oh, oh
When do we?
shit, we can't talk shit. You're not gonna be around
When is it? Monday?
Saturday.
This Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'll be around just so I can talk shit. Like straight up and be like, fuck
Hey,
yeah.
5:30 Saturday on ABC.
But our time, 5:30?
Yep.
Heck yeah, Al, you know you're always welcome, bro. Every single time we got a show,
Yeah,
man.
bro, you're always welcome.
Hey man, we appreciate everybody that showed
Yep.
up here tonight, everybody in the chat, man.
Yeah,
Souls,
let me drop it one more time.
frickin' Loon. I mean, we appreciate every single person. John, man, appreciate you showing up every single week, man. Not every week, every show, damn near. So I mean, like I said, to go through here, man. I mean, look, man, we appreciate that we can sit here and talk football and have, sports conversations for 2.5, 3 hours, keep people here the whole entire time. We have a lot of people that'll sit here and watch. I mean, we really do appreciate it. Again, we had to restart our whole channel, dude. Start from the bottom up, dude. I've said getting YouTube subs are way harder than getting Instagram or any other type of fucking social media content, fucking subscribers or followers. Like YouTube's hard as hell, but man, like I say, we appreciate all you guys showing up, supporting us, man, putting our videos out there, bringing more people. We're growing every single show, man. I mean, I think, like I say, about 165, 170 right now. Starting that from zero in the beginning of the season here this year to now. I mean, we really do appreciate it, man. We really do appreciate everybody that shows up, comments in the chat and everything like that, man. We're gonna probably hop out of here. Again, like I said,
Hey, hey,
dude,
hey,
shit,
hey, Kevin.
been bringing you on
Kevin
to this.
Durant's about to be gone.
Anybody else too, man? Feel free to hit
Hey,
us up.
hey, Dustin, they're gonna do a blockbuster trade right now.
Who?
Phoenix
For what?
for Kevin Durant.
No, they're not.
Yes.
How do you know that?
ESPN.
What did they say?
They're finalizing a big trade.
What? How do you? Where did they say that at?
Yeah.
What's it say? Because the Brooklyn said that they weren't even listening to trades on KD because they wanted to talk to him about his future. But if maybe they talked to him and said that he didn't want to be there, I think it'd be smart if
Right
they.
here, go to the Discord. Breaking news: the Suns are closing in on a trade to acquire 13-time All-Star Kevin Durant from Brooklyn. League sources tell the Athletic.
Man, KD with fucking Booker, man, that'd be dangerous. Aiton, and all them dudes, like that'd be pretty dangerous. Like I say, I mean, I think I think there's a lot of interesting stuff. Is KD and Booker spooky? Straight facts, bro. I mean, that'd be a pretty fucking dangerous little tandem right there, man. I mean, and Booker's way more solid than Kyrie as in a person. So I mean, I think where they're at in their point of their lives, KD with him would be way more dangerous, dude. So And again, you got Aiton and all them, but I wonder who the hell they're giving up players to get KD. So some players are most definitely going over there. And look at that dude, Cam. What he's fucking youngest player ever.
Oh,
A 340 game, 40-point
oh,
game.
this is gonna be the trade. Bridges,
Just
Cam Jams,
Trent
Cam
just
jo- Cam Cam Johnson, four first round picks.
KD and Booker, Spooky, Malik Bridges,
Damn.
Cam Johnson, and first for KD. And a first or four first.
Four first. Four of them.
That's crazy as fuck because boy, danger. So are they saying that Cam Johnson was in the trade that did he end up in Phoenix?
Who?
Did Cam Johnson end up in Phoenix?
Cam Johnson's been there. Just trade on.
What's that fucking guy's name?
They're also trading
My bad, man.
Crowder too.
Suns are getting Katie and TJ Warren. So Crowder is going.
Oh yeah, the Suns are trading Crowder to the Brooklyn Nets.
Nets are sending Kevin Durant to Phoenix for multiple. I think that's crazy, man.
All right, I'm gonna hop off of this.
All right, frickin' said I've been waiting for the Suns. Chip. He said the Suns are also trading Crowder, TJ. They just built the Avengers. I've been waiting for the Suns my whole life. CP3,
Hey.
Warren, KD, and the eight.
Hey Dustin. Hey
Hey,
Dustin.
they're
I'll
gonna be.
trade Draymond right now. I'll trade Draymond right now for Siakam from the Raptors.
About these numerous times. The Suns are gonna be fucking dangerous, dude. I'm not even gonna lie, dude. CP3, fucking Booker, Warren, and KD, and Aton. I mean, he's gonna be. Aton went off like a motherfucker last night. AJ got like 82 points on the motherfucker. That shit pissed me off, man. So yeah, I can't believe that fool. But yeah, the Suns are gonna be dangerous, man. I still think the Lakers could still beat them. I still think LeBron can beat anybody, dude. So go get them all. Fucking get them all. Put them all together. You, Cortez, you guys fucking should have tried to get KD. That'd have been your only chance to win a championship. So I most definitely would have tried to hit him up. So Curry's probably going to be watching from the bench all year long. So Klay Thompson, he had 12 threes the other night, almost broke his own record. So
Hey, bro, man, something's gonna happen tomorrow. I want a proven player. I'll get rid of Wiseman, Moses Moody, because they're just holding a bench. They're not even playing, bro. We're not even playing them two. They're just sitting on the bench.
Yeah, you can't have too many of the same team players on your team because you can't play them all. You can only pick 10 players. I'm born and raised in Phoenix. It's been a long way. Hey, I mean, fuck, Souls, you got luckier in hell, bro, especially to pick up KD. I didn't even really think they were going to trade on him because they said hella teams were monitoring the trade for KD. I seen them say that they came out and said that they weren't even picking up phone calls on him because they wanted to talk to him and see where he wanted to go with his future. And if you're sitting here, it's the thinking right now that Phoenix just jeopardized 4 first-round picks for KD. I mean, they got a good chance to win with them. There's no doubt with that team right there. KD makes their team massively better instantly. I mean, fuck, they probably won the championship last year with KD on that team. So, like I said, that team just got better by a mile. I still think the Lakers are going to beat that ass though. So just get ready. Hopefully if we make the playoffs, dude. I'm just hoping, but outside of that, fuck, like I said, you guys got pretty good. There's a lot of crazy trades popping off right here. Imagine tomorrow. Wait till tomorrow. That one's got to be.
Hey, Wiseman's on his way out tomorrow.
That one right.
Wiseman and Moody, both of them are gonna be gone.
Yeah, that
tomorrow.
fucking game is the biggest one yet, easily.
Yeah, bro. There's gonna be a trade with the Warriors tomorrow. Bet that.
Bad that Westbrook is the fuck off our team, bro. Like I really thought we were screwed for
Nah,
the next.
Kyrie ain't gonna nah. That ain't happening.
Kyrie to reunite with. Well, fuck, Kyrie still can. Yeah, he can because he's not. Listen, Mark Cuban's going to pay Kyrie. There's no doubt. But Kyrie wants 3-year deal no matter what. 3-year deal in free agency. So if Cuban comes out and offers the money, I mean, let's be real. Luka's fucking what, 23 years old, dude. He's a fucking machine. And you add Kyrie to that team just gets way better. I would and again, Kyrie comes over here, it's gonna be not.
Hey, bro, how would you think Bogdanovich, Bogdanovich, the one?
We were gonna try to get him earlier in the season, but I don't know what happened to that deal.
Hey, bro, I have him, bro. He's scoring. That fool's scorer.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna get him.
It's gonna take Moody, James Wiseman, and I'll throw in freaking Jerome that's on our bench. Ty Jerome.
Yeah, they gave up hella shit to acquire fucking Malik Bridges, Cam Johnson, Crowder, 4 first-round picks, a pick swap for Durant. Hey, fuck. I mean, dude, that's crazy. That's hella crazy. I mean, fucking.
Damn. You know that they were in shambles, the Suns? They just voted in the new team owner yesterday. And look what he just did.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck.
That decision, because if you think about it, it's not a dumb decision, okay? Because they just give up 4 first-round picks, right? But let's be real. What their main players were over here is CP3, Booker, Warren, KD, and Ayton. They could all play for the next fucking few years. So you don't need to get a first-round pick. You got your main core right here. So I don't think it was a dumb deal. I think it was pretty good. So you know, four is a lot because it's just going 4 years. But I think with their core, they're fine. I don't think they have anything to worry about. Again, man, I think we're gonna hop off, dude. Frickin', they got a lot of shit popping off over here tonight, so it was a good night. Sit here and talk sports. Love talking Raiders. Love talking basketball. Again, basketball, we're gonna have a lot of people have different teams, so don't take no offense if we talk it. We just talk shit because we love talking shit. Period. When it comes to sports. I always say, you know, if you're not a Laker fan, then fuck you. I don't really care, but no, I'm just kidding. But outside of that, appreciate all you guys showing up, man. We really do. So I said it here just a few minutes ago, man. You guys show up, you give us the time, you let us be able to have good shows. We get good content, we get good feedback. Love the comments going back and forth in the chat. It's only going to grow as time goes. We're going to keep showing up 3 times a week, man. I mean, we're going to show up every single week because that's what we do. We're going to show up all the way every single year, man. So we appreciate you guys. We'll see you on Friday, man, with another show. So until then, salute Raider Nation and see you guys on Friday. Peace out. Hope you guys have a great night.
Wake up to the sounds of the silence that allows for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that I told when my back is to the world. Was smiling when I turned.
Shape, thinking out the box, I'm an astronaut. I blasted off a planet, rock that caused catastrophe in that madness mode because I had it. Now I had a thought about wreaking havoc on an opposition, kind of shocking. They want a static with position. I'm automatic, quarterback, I ain't talking shit.